You ain't from the hood.
Nah, you ain't get put on, you ain't from the hood. You ain't never got put on,
You ain't from the hood.
Niggas always claim to say blood ain't from the hood. Hell nah. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. Oh, I live in the hood, ass nigga. Never got put on, always claiming the hood though. Oh, you fucking with the homegirl, but don't come to the hood with none of your damn homeboys. They don't get a pass. Had a little homies crush they ass for your tattoos. Hey, your mama waking up to some bad news. The plug saying groove, I'm a dime. I was long in the race, skinny nigga with the braids, took a 2-man fade. I'm really from the hood. I took a fucking break to get my money right, but I was banking on the plane in the meeting with Jermaine. They like, poet, oh you bang?
Hey, Miss Black Barbie.
I was gang banging when it wasn't fun. Homie doing life right now, cause we don't play ain't from the hood. Nah, you ain't get put on, you ain't from the hood. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. Niggas always claim to say blood ain't from the hood. Hell nah. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. And that goes for these hoes too. Start fucking on niggas and throwing these niggas hood up. Ha, little dot. Heard you gave a homie head in the trap spot. Got a throwaway in the stash spot. Boy, you not real, like a Sasquatch. Boy, I'm so high, I'm seeing astronauts. Boy, I ball hard, I need a mascot. Oh, and Swahili, I'm a Damu. My little cousin making power.
So don't get the fucking up now.
Pad blows, I be hanging with some real whoops. Gang signs out the window.
Oh, Monday.
Making money with some crips like it's 92. Banging on tracks, banging on tracks. Back in my days, it was banging on. You ain't from the hood.
You call time and tell his ass we on.
You ain't get put on, you ain't from the hood.
The hell you at time?
You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood. Niggas always claim to say blood ain't from the hood. Hell nah. You ain't never got put on, you ain't from the hood.
Fuck Chris Brown, nigga. Pull up in the hood right now, nigga. Catch your fade, nigga. Fuck, nigga.
Hey, Black Barbie, thank you for the donation.
You ain't from the hood.
I thought my damn computer was broke yesterday. It was frozen. Evidently, something. I had to uninstall an app and reinstall an app to put in. I'm not computer savvy, so I came up on fixing my computer on accident. But it's fixed, damn it, and let's get ready to roll because I have a lot of making up to do. It's been a lot of news hitting this news. You got the Joe Biden done released the college fund tuition repayment taxes, whatever the hell you want to call it, when you the school people went to college ain't got to damn, my phone keep on falling. When people went to college ain't got to repay their debt, you got that out. You got Joe Biden mad, frantic rage, that's out. You know what I'm saying? You got, I mean, you have this right here with Marjorie Taylor Greene getting threatened. You got that out. You got, it's so much shit out right now that since my computer been fucking up, I have missed out. But don't get your pennies in the bunch. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to try to knock out everything within the next 2 days, right? Starting with this. I had this video ready for 3 days. 3 damn days, but the computer been tripping and I ain't had time to put up. So we're going to run through this, right? So I can hurry up and put this video up so I can start on my next video. I got climate change. I got all kind of other stuff that I'm doing this weekend. You know what I'm saying? So you in store for a lot of videos this weekend. I think. If I can pull it off, I think sometimes these videos take longer than you think. Sometimes you can get them out fast. But if according to plan, I'm coming out with videos. Now this thing is not playing. Oh, don't tell me now this damn thing ain't playing. We just went over this. How is it not? Okay, we got. Oh, it's right here. It's not playing. Oh, I almost thought we was in for one. But let's get into it. Hopefully it don't skip. Hopefully my computer is fixed for good and it don't skip. Because this is a very funny video. I like this video. Let's get into it. Oh, it's still on mute. How the hell is it still on mute? Come on. YouTube, stop messing with me. Whatever this damn thing is called. Okay, now we go. Now we cooking with grease, y'all. Now we cooking with grease. Let's roll.
Image he created us. The Equality Act that
Right here.
God created us male and female. In his image he created us. The Equality Act that we are to vote on this week destroys God's creation.
It's
Now
not
the
an
court,
effort to protect those kids. It's an effort to target those kids.
The Democrats are the party.
Now, how in the hell, like, I don't understand, right? Now, this has been true throughout the history of time. God made two sexes, right? Even at the beginning of time, it was Adam and Eve. It wasn't no Adam and Steve. It wasn't no Eve and Felicia. It was Adam and Steve, a man and a woman. That's in the story of time. They wasn't confused about their gender. They both knew who the fuck they was. I have something that you don't have, and I can do something you can't do, right? They both had something, right? And you can tell how society was going to be ran its course through the actions of Adam and Eve. Adam was the power, and Eve was the brain. That's how it's supposed to be in every relationship. A man's supposed to be the power, and a woman's supposed to be the brain. In every relationship, you're supposed to let your woman take charge and let her take care of the business, you know what I'm saying, as far as the mental aspect. And you're supposed to take charge as far as the physical aspect. You the rock. And she the foundation. You got to understand that. But now, since the Democrats in office trying to wipe that whole thing away, they're trying to kill the nuclear family, not with just black people, with people with people entirely, right? They're trying to kill the nuclear family, right? Because even in the white culture right now, they're not preaching family. They preaching separation of family. You can be gay. You can have a coochie. You can have whatever you want. They're not preaching the same thing no more to the kids, right? And our kids, hold it. James Touche, what's up with it? James Touche, you're looking out for the nation. The liberals do not want people with good morals. They don't want people with good morals, James, right? They want morals where you can kill a baby at 9 months. They want morals when your kid can have a sex change at basically any age and in any at any time they want. I was having a debate with my friends, right, today, right? And I asked them, I told them, right, like, if Joe Biden is talking about bringing the country together, right? If Joe Biden is talking about uniting the country, he's going about it the wrong way. He's going about it angry, calling all Republicans fascists and racists. Oh, matter of fact, here we go right now. Hold on. Hey, you want to come on the show? Hell yeah, I'm like, you want to come on the show? We were just talking about you. You want to come on the show? We were just talking about you. We talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene right now, right? And we talking about pedophiles, right? In the Democratic Party, right? Do you want to come on the show and debate this? You don't have a debate. Well, do you want to come on? Because we need a liberal on here so I can eat their ass up. Do you want to come on?
I'm reading the Trump thing right now.
You're reading the Trump thing. Well, can you come on and debate the Trump thing? That's what we need. We need somebody to come on and debate the Trump thing. Can you do that for us?
I got 10 minutes.
You got 10 minutes? All right, I'm going to bring you on right now, and you're going to do the Trump thing. All right, we got you. We're going to leave Marjorie Taylor Greene alone right now. We're going to bring you on because we're trying to eat somebody up. We want to hear you. I'm going to let you talk. We go in the chat on my page, and I'm going to send a link, and I'm going to hear what you got to say. We want to hear what you got to say about this Trump because I ain't had a chance to debate nobody on this Trump shit or talk about nobody on this Trump shit. So let me allow you to come on here so I can eat your ass up, and I'll allow you to talk. This is what we're going to do. All right, I'm going to, come on. All right. I holler at you in a minute. I'm going to set up the link. We finally got us one, y'all. I was just see how God works. God is a real good guy. I was talking about eating somebody's ass up alive on this debate, and guess what? Somebody called. Somebody was in Donald Trump stats. Somebody was in Donald Trump affidavit shit and all that shit. We finally got somebody to come on here and get their ass toe up, right? Let me unshare this, right? Unshare this. Boom, right? Let me put this up. Let me invite him to the thing. We want to see what he got to say. I want to hear what he done found out, right? I want to hear what he done found out about Donald Trump. I haven't been up on it because me personally, I've been trying to get my computer fixed, right? And now that I got my computer fixed, I want to. Damn it, Janet! What's up with it? Damn it, Janet! I see you up in there. I see you up in here. Al Bundy, I'm finna tear his ass up. Let him bring his ass on here. I'm finna tear his dog ass up, right? Because I want to hear what they say about Donald Trump. The entire Trump philosophy is semi-racism. Oh, that's something else. Bring his ass on so I can tear his ass up. This would be great. You damn right it'd be great. Bring your ass on. There we go right there. Glib Talk. Bring your ass on. Glib Talk. We need to hear what you got to say. This is going to be interesting. All right. This is not Glib Talk. We got somebody else on here. This is not Glib Talk. Hold on. What's up with it, man? Basement channel.
What's up with it?
What's up with it, man? How you been with it, man?
Man, it's all good. I'm just here, man. I just plugged in. Somebody dropped the StreamYard link. I just popped in just to hear the incriminating evidence against the 45th president of the United States.
Me too, man. You and me
That's
both,
all.
man. I need to hear this incriminating.
I'm just spectating. That's all.
Yeah, I want to hear this incriminating evidence. All this shit that's going to send Donald Trump to the penitentiary with the rest of the niggas. Please put it up, man. We need to see that.
And until then, Lionel, let's just talk about how they've been treating Donald Trump like the nigga of the century.
Come on, man.
They've been treating him like a 1940 nigga. They
said Donald Trump is racist. He getting treated. Look, Donald Trump more black than Barack Obama. Come on, man.
Now you know something ain't right.
Yeah, he more black than Barack Obama, man. Barack Obama ain't done shit for black folks. Donald Trump done more shit for black folks, and they treating Donald Trump like a nigga. Who else get raided? Niggas. You know, who get accused of shit? Niggas. Come on, man.
Hey, you know what? And bro, and it's something funny to look at, man. It's really interesting to look at, man. Think about that whole Kyle Rittenhouse thing, just talking about Trump in general and Trump supporting and however they frame us, you know what I mean? However they frame the people. You know, think about Kyle Rittenhouse's trial. That was, you know how they be talking about, you know, they planting evidence and stuff and messing with cases. That's exactly what they did to that little white boy on TV. Remember when they was messing with the evidence and the court and the judge was tripping on them for messing with or not bringing up evidence to everybody. You're supposed to present evidence to everybody that's involved with the case before you bring it in.
Exactly.
Remember that? He had to get on his ass. He was like, "What? You know that ain't how we do stuff." Like all the little tactics that they say that make our system so flawed, they imply the same exact tactics when it suits them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That was a great example of exactly the type of injustices that they talk about in the criminal system. That was a really good example. They should have stuck by and used that as an example.
Exactly.
You know?
But like, Adrian, bring your ass on. We got some. I'm gonna mess around and let Friedman's channel answer you, man, because he got some good shit.
I'm just listening, bro. I'm just listening. I'm waiting.
He's scared to come on now. I need to hear this evidence. Adrian, bring your ass on, Adrian, with this evidence, man. We ready for you, man. We need to hear this, right? We need to hear this.
Yeah, cause y'all been trying to y'all been having bread on Donald Trump head for a minute. I just been sitting back watching, man. And y'all been having bread on his head for the last 5-6 years, man. If y'all don't send this nigga to prison, I'm gonna have to start looking at y'all a little funny. Y'all the feds? Y'all them folks, huh? Y'all the feds, huh?
Lock his ass up. If he guilty, lock his ass up.
Okay, they go ahead and lock him up.
Now, Glim Talk. What you have learned about Mr. Donald Trump, right? We're going to put this up. Hold on. I guess I got something else to put up, right? We're going to put this up, right? Okay. Where you at, Glib?
Redacted information on there.
We can't hear you, Glib.
Oh, I don't have to say anything. You could just
read
read number 77.
Based upon this investigation, I believe that the storage room for the president resident suit, Pinhall 45, the other spaces within the premises are not currently authorized locations for the storage classification of NDI, right? Similar, based upon this investigation, I do not believe any spaces within the premises have been authorized for storage or classification of information, at least since the president, whatever administration on January 20th, right? So,
Okay,
so what it is? So what is?
I can answer him right now. I got one question for him before you start, Lionel.
Ooh.
Let me at least just put the one question on his brain. He don't got to answer me at this very second. Just think about it. You know where I invalidated this part of the affidavit? Would you like to know where I start? Not that I invalidated it, but you know where I start to doubt it?
Glib.
I can.
Right there.
I'm waiting. I'm trying to be polite. I'm listening quietly.
Okay. Yeah. No. Well, the part that I start to doubt it is where it says, does it say I believe and I do not believe? So it's just it's a matter of I do not believe, and whoever wrote this, they're just talking about their personal belief. I do not personally believe that. Wait. Let's get the full context. That way we're not talking about nothing. Let's get the full context. I do not believe that any spaces within the premises have been authorized for storage.
So that's
what if they're wrong? So what if they believe is wrong?
That's your final answer, right? For why?
No. It's not an answer. It's not an answer. I said I had a question. You just didn't let me finish my question. Okay. My question is, what happens if what they believe is not correct? That's my question. Okay. I don't have an answer. That's my question.
Okay. Woo. So that's not a good question, but I'll answer your question.
I asked you the same thing yesterday. Why is it not a good question? I asked you the same thing yesterday.
Okay, I'll tell you why.
Yeah, I'm just asking you what happens if they're not correct.
I'm going to answer the question.
Okay.
So further up in this document, right? All this past all the.
Look at down. Ask the question. No, answer the question.
Are you going to let me speak? Are you going to
answer? Can he have an answer?
I have an answer if you listen, right? Don't talk over me. Just listen for a minute.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna answer it, right? So if you go up to the top, right, up to the top of this document, past all that redacted stuff. All of this stuff is the laws, right? About how classified information is supposed to be stored, handled, what it is, all that stuff, right? So if you read through all these, it's like 15 pages, right? Of shit. About how this stuff is supposed to be stored, who classifies it, where you classify, and on and on and on and on and on. So when this guy says I believe, his belief is based on these facts of all these things up here that say this stuff should be stored. So
Can I
I will take that 100%. I will 100% take that. Go ahead, Lionel.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Right. Oh, so the things that you're stated, right, and you said that's the law, right? Is that the interpretation of the law, or do you know for sure that is the law? Because the law can be interpreted different ways, right? And Donald Trump meaning of the law, right, doesn't necessarily mean it's the same as the FBI meaning of the law, right? Because
wait. So we don't have to debate this. We don't have to. There's not a debate, right?
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Right there on the screen, that's the law about storing top secret information. That's the law. So you could say, well, I don't believe in that law and I'm not going to do it, which is what Donald Trump did. Donald Trump said, I don't believe in that law. I'm not going to do that. But
when did he say that?
When he took the stuff to his house and put it inside that pool room.
Well, wait a second. Wait. Hold on. I have a question because you just basically, you just, and I'm not saying that he could have possibly had done something wrong. It's very possible that he could have, maybe he even tried to, and maybe he missed a step, right? Like, let's be honest, like that happens for humans, right? Let's say he even tried to and he missed a certain clearance step, right? And he was in possession illegally. He would still be in violation of the law, correct?
That's the law right there. That explains how the stuff should be stored. So when the guy says he didn't store it the right way, that's because he followed this law right here. This tells you exactly how to do it. And there's more of them. This is like 10 pages of how the stuff should be stored.
No, I'm not. I'm not debating you right now, right?
So wait. So when he has it in his house, like when he has it in his house, no matter what anyone says, it shouldn't be there because he didn't follow these rules of how it should be stored. Even if he didn't know, even if he didn't care. Like, it doesn't matter whichever one it is, it's still, he didn't do it right.
Right. Okay. No, I get. I'm not debating you on that, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'm not debating you on the process or nothing like that. What I'm saying, because we're not, the public is not 1,000%, like 100% for sure on whether Trump did follow the process or did not follow the process, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are we 100% sure about that? Can we 100% say he did not? Can we say that?
Yes.
We can say that 100% for sure.
Yes.
Where is that evidence? Where is that evidence that he 100% for sure did not follow protocol? Where is that evidence?
So I'll tell you in this doc. So I just showed you 19, right? 19 was the one that says how top secret information should be stored. And,
right.
and in this document, they explained how he actually stored it, which was inside of a room in his house, which is like a pool room or some stuff, right? With no lock on the door, nothing. He just took the boxes from the White House and put them in that room.
Okay.
That's not how they're supposed to be stored at all. Okay. So we know for sure that he didn't do that right. They redacted a lot of the information about how the stuff got taken from the White House, but they do start to talk about, it says here that a moving truck showed up and then they redacted the rest. So we don't understand exactly what happened, but I'm pretty certain that that's where they broke the law. When they put those...
Adrian, I'm going to be the mediator on this one, right? Because as me and you, we debate sometimes. You don't allow me the chance to talk. So I'm gonna, if I'm rude, you're gonna have to excuse me, right? Because I want to allow Freeman, you know what I'm saying, to get a chance to answer, because you will cut somebody off and you wouldn't allow nobody to answer, right? And I want to give him a fair opportunity to answer and ask questions. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm rude, you're gonna have to excuse me, Adrian, because I want to give him, because right now you're controlling the conversation and you're not giving him a chance to answer or ask the proper questions, right? And I just want to give him the opportunity, right? I'd rather play mediator because you do me the same way, right? He's trying to ask a question and you're not allowing him to answer that question because you're going on with your dialogue. Now, can you please slow down and allow him to answer a question before you kind of, go on with your dialogue? Can he kind of put his 2 cents in?
You know what? I'm not going to argue.
No, you ain't got to do that. Like, I'm going to be. We just want to have a dialogue, Adrian. We want to allow him the chance to talk. We're not trying to penalize you, right? We're going to give you a fair chance to talk and everything like that, right? But we have a problem, like when we have these debates against people who are considered liberal. You say you're not a liberal, but they don't give us the opportunity to talk because they steady talking, right? All I want to do is give him the fair opportunity, not more or not less than you. Is that possible? Not more or not less. It's not. If I cut him off, I'll probably cut him off if you talk too long. I'll cut you off if you talk too long. We just want to get a fair chance for everybody to speak equally. That's all.
So he asked the question about how do we know about the stuff. So I was explaining.
But then you answered the question. You was trying to go somewhere else. When he tried to say something, you cut him off. So that's what I'm saying. You can't allow him. You can't go and switch other topics and stuff like that when we on the same topic, because you do that with me. You will say something, you explain something, then you'll go home to a whole nother topic, right? And then when that person try to make a point on a certain topic, you already passed that topic. You want to explain something else. So all I'm doing is let's stay in a certain aspect of this conversation. I allow him to talk, just like I'm going to allow you to talk. That's all.
Put a MAGA hat on.
Yeah, do that. Okay. Now, I'm just now. Adrian, do you still want to ask him the question? You know what I'm saying, and allow him to answer, because he will answer in a very polite, very respectful, and a very clairvoyant way.
I was gonna. He asked about how do we know, and so I was gonna say that in this section, they talk about how the boxes were removed, but it's all redacted. So they just say that the moving truck showed up and picked the shit up, but it's all redacted because I'm pretty certain this is the crime. That's why it's redacted, because this is either the crime or this is they have a witness they don't want to identify, but they redacted everything about how those boxes got from the White House to Mar-a-Lago, and we don't know why. But I would assume that this is the crime. But we do know that taking the classified documents and putting them into those moving trucks that was not secured and taking them to that pool room where they placed it was also not the way they should have been stored. And that was item 77 that I showed you.
Okay, that's all fine. That's all good. That's all fine. All right. And for the record, I didn't think you were being disrespectful. I know how it goes. Like we get intense about these things, whatever. I'm not really tripping about it, but I definitely would like to be able to like ask follow-up questions after you make your initial response. So that would be good because that'll help keep us that'll help us cut to the mustard. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That'll help us get to the point.
I debate with this nigga every day, and I know, and I try to. And look, you're gonna ask. Look, this how much in line. I ain't gonna say Republicans or conservative values is, right? I don't have to. This is why I step back, because Freeman is going to ask and give the same responses that I give, right? Because because we're talking facts, right? We're not making stuff up, and we're standing among the lines. So when he speak, it's going to kind of sound like a conversation that me and you had in private. It's not like we knew each other. We was talking behind the scenes. It's just the facts are the facts, and his conversations are going to sound just like mine. I bet you I can ask him a question that we talk about or we debate about, and I bet you he answer it them the same way or very similar to how I answer it, right? About child pedophiles, whatever question you want to ask him, I guarantee you he's going to answer it them the same way because it's about truth, not about feelings.
It's like Jesse Lee Peterson say, man, you ask a man where he going, he tell you where he been. So we just got to answer questions directly, but whatever. So you kind of answer. You directed me to the portion. You guys can hear me, right?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. You directed me to the portion of the affidavit where it shows the proper protocol for storing such classified documents or top secret documents, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that wasn't my concern. My concern was not if there was a protocol. My concern was not if there's a stated protocol in the affidavit. My question was not, did Donald Trump know the protocol? Right now, I don't know what he did. I don't know if he was like, I don't know if he just wanted to risk it all and just take something that he just know he shouldn't take right at the end. Like, I just don't make sense to like take some top secret stuff. Like, so anyway, now we don't know for sure. You didn't really answer the question if we know for sure whether he followed it or not. We don't know if it states in the affidavit because it could be redacted. We don't know if there's evidence of like the day that he took them. We don't know if there was like a checklist and like the checklist was fabricated or something like that. We need some hard evidence in order to prosecute this type of crime. Like, and I guess that's what they're trying to get, right? Like that's what they're trying to get with the whole raid, and they need to get all their, cross all their T's and dot all their I's, right?
Well, I think that the purpose in the purpose in the raid, the reason why the National Archives submitted this to the Department of Justice is because they were just trying to acquire the documents that were classified. And when they discovered, wait, let me finish. Like when they discovered those 15 boxes, that initial 15 boxes of presidential records, when they went through them, and it says that in affidavit, that when they went through those records, they found hundreds of documents that were classified from confidential all the way up to top secret, compartmentalized, right? That secret compartmental information access stuff, right? So they said, we believe there's more stuff there because we found this stuff and he didn't even tell us that this was there. It's all unorganized. It's all mixed in together. It's not supposed to be stored like this. So in the affidavit, it says, we believe we need to go back in there and look for more stuff. And
hey, I got a question. I got a question from Miss Black Barbie, right?
Yeah.
Her question is, what chain of custody that proves Trump had possession? Like, because you said he packed it, right? You said that he knew what was going on, right? What chain of custody do you think proves Donald Trump knew what was being packed and what was being sent to Mar-a-Lago?
Well, I didn't say that Trump did anything, right? So I don't know if there's a chain of custody that said Trump had it or not, but it was definitely in his house and it was definitely taken there from the White House. So
what I'm saying is, if he was normally in possession of it, right? At some point in time, he have to have some type of knowledge that he has these things.
He admitted that. But he admitted that when he went out there and said, "It's my stuff. I want it back." So he admitted that he had it because he said,
we're gonna go back with the word belief, like I was saying yesterday, right? Like they said in this affidavit, if he believed that this stuff was his, right, and he believed that the things he had in possession, he had a right to, right? Is that against the law?
I don't know. But you just changed your argument from
how do we know?
Well, you just changed it from how do we know we had it to, well, if he did have it, how do we know that he couldn't have it?
No. That wasn't the question, brother.
The first thing you asked me was about a chain of custody, and I said he admitted he had it when he said give it back. And then you said, well, how do we know that he didn't think that he was supposed to have it? Well, I don't know what he believes. Only thing that matters is the law. It doesn't matter what he believes. The law says this. It's not like it says here. It says this is from his lawyer. His lawyer says the president has absolute authority to declassify documents. This is not true. This is not true, right? So he has a statute here, right, that says that the president has authority to classify, control, or whatever, right? This is his lawyer writing to the Department of Justice. But the Department of Justice responded in the letter that they released with an extensive amount of information saying, no, the president cannot just declassify information. And if he does declassify information, there's all these steps that have to be taken for it to be declassified. So if he did declassify it, he has to present all of that documentation that shows how he declassified it from the person who classified it.
Okay, back to my question, back to my original question. Like, the question I asked is, in the chain of command from the White House to Mar-a-Lago, how do Donald Trump knows what documents he has in possession? That was my original question, right? Like, if it's secret documents and he didn't pack it, right? How do he knows what's in there if he says if he believes he declassified everything he took to Mar-a-Lago? How do he knows what's in there and what chain of command says that this is illegal? That's what he's saying, that he had knowledge of it, right? And what chain of command that said he had personal knowledge that these particular documents was up in there? Not let me go and search and find the documents. No, these particular documents was up in there. What chain of command was that, or do you know?
I'm not sure why we're even arguing about that point. He knows this stuff is there. His lawyer is writing letters saying he has a right to keep it. He knows this stuff is there.
I had another question I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Okay, so
he get you?
Oh, I can hear you.
I think he off.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he might be losing the signal.
They must be losing the signal. But Adrian, I understand what you're saying, right? But what I'm saying is, right, it has to be some type of chain of custody, right? Because like we had
wait, Black. When you say chain of custody, you mean chain of custody from who? From the guy who took it from the White House and brought it to Mar-a-Lago?
A chain of custody, somebody that documents these paperwork that shows it's being transferred from one place to the other place. It has to be some type of documentation, right?
But that's what this is saying, that it wasn't done properly. That's what it's
exactly. That's not Donald Trump's fault.
And Donald Trump was the president, and it was his.
But he's not packing the boxes and moving them, Adrian. He's not documenting what's inside of the boxes and what's inside of this or not. He's not.
But
he's not doing it individually.
So but it was taken to his house, and he did say that's my stuff. So it no matter how you slice it, you can't say, well, he doesn't know or he didn't have anything to do with it. Well, he kind of did because they put it in his pool room.
Hey, you know how many boxes probably up in there?
Probably lots. Probably
you know what I'm saying? You know how many boxes probably up in there? But he didn't take one or two boxes. He took boxes.
Listen, I'm pretty certain that Donald Trump is eventually going to say, I don't know what was in those boxes. I didn't pack them. I never touched them. But maybe he will. Maybe he will admit that he actually was touching them. What this affidavit says is that some of the documents that they found had Donald Trump's handwritten notes on it. So he touched them at least once. It's his handwriting. So they have that on some of the documents.
He has written notes. Of course, he touched some of the stuff. He had personal stuff that was sent to him. A napkin from Kim Jong-un, a handwritten loaf.
No, that's not what this stuff was.
These are personal things, huh?
No, that's not what they're talking about here. That's not what they're talking about.
Okay, what was
they're talking about classified, top secret, and confidential documents that say no foreign relations, no foreign nationals can access this stuff.
Hey, we've been through this, right? Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
If not, I can show you the video, right? I'm going to ask you a simple question, right? If you answer the question no, I can show you a video of James Comey that backs up my point, right? Because I know you're going to say no, and I can show you the video. Can the FBI reclassify, declassify, or classify things right on the spot?
We've already had this conversation, right?
I'm asking you a question because we had this conversation for everybody. I'm asking you a simple conversation. And can the FBI reclassify, declassify, or classify things on the spot?
The president of the United States does not. No. I'm not going to debate you about whether something. But you're going to try to take one nuance and then try to apply it to this massive amount of information.
No, I just asked a simple question.
I'm not argue with you about that. It's not a simple question.
Because
yes. Whatever. Okay. I don't know. Can I ask
the next question? Right? Is it a possibility that they could have? I'm not saying that they did. Right? I'm not saying that they did. It is a possibility that when they got there and found the evidence that they so-called looking for, is it possible they could have reclassified it?
Donald Trump does not have a magic wand to say all this stuff is declassified. He can't do that. That's not how it works. That's not how it works.
That's not the question.
All that shit over there, it's all declassified.
That's not the question, Adrian.
Do that. No.
Adrian, the question I asked.
Black.
Listen to the question. Listen to the question. I'm not saying you're wrong. The question I asked is, if they can do that, right? Is it possible when they got there they could have reclassified some documents to top secret if they have the ability, right? Which they done with Hillary Clinton emails, right? And they classified them, reclassified them, right? And they done that with Anthony Winters, right? And other emails, right? Reclassify them. Is it possible that they could have reclassified the information from whatever classification it was to top secret because they felt it was top secret when they got the information? Could that be possible?
Anything is possible, right?
Okay, that's all I asked, right? That's all I asked, right?
Well, this is the part about the 15 boxes, right? That you keep talking about this Kim Jong-un letter and all this stuff, right? It says right here, right? It says that in the 15 boxes, they identified documents with classification markers in 14 of the 15 boxes. So in 14 of the 15 boxes, they found classified documents. A preliminary trial of the documents with classification markers revealed the following approximate numbers: 184 unique documents bearing classification markings. And then it tells you exactly what they are. 67 were confidential, 92 were secret, 25 were top secret. Further, the FBI agents observed markings reflecting the following compartment dissemination controls for the highly classified secret. I don't know what FISA stands for. No foreign nationals in ORCON, whatever that is, right? And that's that secret compartment thing shit. I know documents classified at these levels typically contain NDI. Several documents also contain what appear to be the president's handwritten notes, which means that he has touched them at least once. So it's not something that just happened upon in his house because somebody put it in the wrong box. Some of the stuff he actually looked at. So not to say that he knew it was in that box or that he stored it there, any of that stuff, but it does show that if he wrote on it, that he touched it at least once. You know what I'm saying?
I understand that. I mean, you have to touch something that you wrote on. I mean, that's only, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
so he don't say, "Oh, this is classified information," because he wrote, he got his fingerprints on it. He touched it, Adrian. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be that, right? Now, I got one more question. But Freeman back on here, right? Now, do we believe in fair application of the law? Do you believe in is that a part of the United States? Fair application of the law. You believe in that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I had a discussion with you yesterday when Bill Clinton lost the nuclear codes, right, to nuclear weapons, right, because he took my bad. He took some of the nuclear whatever. He took it out of the White House, right, out of whatever, took it home and lost the nuclear codes. Nothing happened to him, right? So I'm asking you a question, right? Is whatever Donald Trump had in his box's office or whatever, right? Is that more top secret or more important than nuclear codes?
Well, we don't know. We don't know what's in these documents, right?
I'm asking.
No, you're just asking. I'm just answering.
Okay.
First off, we don't know what's in these documents, right? So that's number one. And number two, Bill Clinton gave it back. He didn't try to keep it. The problem with Donald Trump is he wants to keep it. He should give them back. If he gave them back, there would be no issue. Now, if Bill Clinton was still running around with the nuclear football, and you was like, "Come on, Bill, give it back," and he was like, "Nah, fuck that, it's mine," then he might get arrested. But when Bill Clinton found it after he lost it, because he wasn't trying to keep it, he just couldn't find it, or whoever the fuck lost it, because I'm sure he don't carry that fucker around. Whoever lost it, found it, gave it back. They didn't keep.
But that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is equal application of the law. He lost the nuclear codes.
Black Rose, but listen,
you're doing that yellow thing again.
Black. The argument you're making makes no sense because he gave it back. Donald Trump. If Donald Trump gives it back, nothing's gonna happen to him. All he had to do is give the shit.
That's true. Now hold on. I got a quick question. Can I ask? Oh yeah, my bad. I cut out earlier. My fault. My show's bad. So what I was going to ask earlier, bro, was so what? Okay, so it's saying that he's got documents, boxes and boxes of documents. Now, what if it's just politics? Like, what if it's literally personal, bro? Like, what if he declassified these certain documents? You know what I mean? Like that's just kind of my thing. We don't know if he actually declassified them. All we're doing is going off of what the DOJ believes.
Well, like they said, so if you read the letter that they put out the other day, the letter states specifically what the Donald Trump administration would have had to have done to declassify these documents. It's not that Donald Trump said they're declassified. He didn't do the next step, which would have been notifying the classified authority, which is a different agency in the government, and say, hey, this information is this declassified for whatever reason. If he has that information, he should present it. All we have is Donald Trump saying that it's declassified, but they're not presenting anything. So like right here, right? They wrote a letter to Donald Trump saying, you said you can store it there, but you can't. And they told him multiple times, you can't store the stuff there. And they tell him why. And they use the U.S. code to tell them why. They just refuse to follow it. They know that they can't do it because they're being told they can't. But their response is that, yes, I can. Even though
you don't got to keep going. I get your point. I 100%. I get your point. So my question with your statement, it's like, so, and the reason I keep asking questions is because some of the statements that you're making are slightly contradictory as far as evidence goes. Prosecutable evidence, like if I was in a courtroom and like somebody's typing out everything that you're saying and seeing it in black and white, and I know you're just going off of what they're saying, but this is why this is not going to result in any prosecution, because everything, like it's a hard case. Now, hold on. You guys are making not you guys. I'm not saying you personally. I'm just saying the DOJ is making a really tough case for themselves. And let me give my examples. My example is, okay, so the issue, according to public knowledge and what this is saying, is that documents weren't stored properly, right? And now some people are saying, or now the other issue is that he should have never had them. So it's one thing or the other. It's like, it's either he had authority to have them and they just weren't stored properly, or he was never supposed to have them in the first place, and regardless of how he stored them, he shouldn't have them. It's like, if it's a matter of how they're stored, then that means there must be some window of where he has access to them. He just wasn't, or authority over them. He just ain't store them correctly. So which is it? Is it that is the heart of the issue how they were stored, or is the heart of the issue where they're going to send them to prison, not let them run in 2024, do all the things they want to do? Is it that he never declassified these certain documents at all? Is that which one is going to send him to prison?
Wait, I got one more question to add up in there. I got one more
question. This question, man.
It adds on to that. Because
it's a question.
It goes with the question, Adrian. I mean, can I be mediator? Right. It goes with the question, right? Because what he said is true, because when they said raided the house for the documents at first, they say put a lock on it, right? If they say put a lock on it, they acknowledge what he said about he can have the documents and they probably not stored properly because they told him to put a lock on the place where they had the documents at. That's all I want to say.
Listen, man, listen. It's not whether he did one or the other. It's actually both, right? Because the first thing is that he wasn't supposed to take them because it's supposed to go to the National Archives. That's why the National Archives was looking for him. In the beginning of the affidavit, it says the reason why all this shit started was because we were missing all these documents from his presidential record. And he took them, right? So that's number one. They give the National Archives stuff after a year, and when they look through the stuff, they say, "Holy shit, all this shit's classified." That's two. So two separate reasons. It's not just that it's not the one or the other. It's actually both. He wasn't supposed to take them, and then when they found them, they were like, "Shit, it's classified." He put the lock on the door because they said you can't store it that way. It's supposed to be stored in a room, in a safe, in a locked room. You just have boxes in a room in your basement. You have to put so they put the lock on the door because they said lock the shit up. But we're coming back for the rest of the shit. So Donald Trump says to you, they told me to put a lock on the door, I put a lock on the door. But if you read the affidavit, it's not just, they didn't just say put a lock on the door and keep it. They said secure the stuff and don't touch it because we're coming back to get it. That's what they told him.
I didn't hear that part. Maybe
it's in the affidavit. It's in the affidavit.
It sounds educated, but I never heard that part. I never heard that part.
I'll read you that part. Hey, wait. Let me ask both of you a question. If I show you, let me ask the question. If I show you that the government told Donald Trump exactly what I said, would you then believe me or ask another question?
No, I believe that part.
Wait. Would I believe you about what?
Yeah.
You're saying that they told Donald Trump to put a lock on the door because Donald Trump said, well, they told me to put a lock on the door.
I didn't say anything about, bro. I didn't say anything about that. What I said.
Black said it.
Okay. All right, good. But what I was asking is, what would you be trying to prove a point to me or to us about that we would?
It doesn't matter what evidence I present to you. You're going to come with the same conclusion that there's another question about whether he actually did.
No, that doesn't. That's not even an answer to what I'm talking about, dog. I'm saying you said would I believe you or would I ask another question, right? If you showed me if you could show me that the affidavit says exactly what you said, would I believe you? You didn't tell me believe you about what? What do you want me to believe you? Tell me.
Okay, well, hear me say.
Yeah, believe you about
believe. He's not going to answer that. Hey, he's not going to. When you get him with a question like that, he's not going to answer.
I don't believe. Hey, share screen.
Hold on. Wait. Let me finish. Wait, bro. Let me just finish because I'm not trying to argue. I'm really not trying to argue. Because once you tell me what it is that you're trying to convince me of, then I can answer properly and say, yes, I will then believe you, or I'll say, well, I may have another question for you. So if you can tell me what it is that you're trying to prove to me, then I can say, okay, if you show me that, then yeah, I'll believe you. But if you're just gonna say that I'm just gonna ask another question, then that still doesn't really solve it.
Hey, Black, share screen. Share screen.
Okay, share screen.
Yeah, share screen.
All right. So Black Rosebud said,
yeah, I'm not trying.
Donald Trump did what they said to do because he put a lock on the door. That's one sentence that Donald Trump said that we know is probably misleading or untrue, right? Because
can I ask a question?
Let me finish. You're not gonna let me finish.
You mispronounced what I said. You misinterpreted what I said. Because you're gonna run on a narrative something I never said. I never said that.
Whoa. Listen, I don't have a narrative. I'm reading.
Let him finish.
I don't have a narrative. I'm not reading the narrative. I'm just reading what it said. Like the argument. The reason why I'm frustrated is because you're arguing a theory with me, and I'm reading what the paper says.
Wait.
Right?
Before you go any further, this is all I said. What theory is this? I said if they raided the house and knew he had the documents in there and didn't take them and told him to put a lock on it, that means they had some type of knowledge of that of them documents could be there or not be there, or they would have took them. They would have said, just put a lock on it, right, and just keep it back there, and we're going to be back to get them. No, these documents are illegal. They wouldn't tell you to keep them safe. They would tell you that these documents are illegal, but they told them these documents are safe, not safe. Put a lock on them. They didn't say put a lock on them so we reserve them so we can come back and get them later. If that was the case, Donald Trump had opportunity to flush them because they didn't know what the fuck they had.
All right, so let me tell you exactly what it says. Right, I'm glad you made that point. Black Rose. But it says on June 8th, the Department of Justice Counsel sent the President's Counsel a letter which reiterated that the premises are not authorized to store classified information and requested the preservation of the storage room in boxes that have been moved from the White House to the premises. Specifically, the letter stated in relevant part, and I highlighted right here so you can see it. Accordingly, we asked that the room in Mar-a-Lago where the documents had been stored be secured. and that all of the boxes that were moved from the White House to Mar-a-Lago, along with any other items in that room, be preserved in that room in their current condition until further notice. So they told them, lock the door and don't go back in there. That's what they told them to do. Now, we don't know if they did that or not, so you're correct. They could have went in there and started flushing shit and stealing shit, but that's why they went to his fucking house to get the shit, because they said, give us all the stuff you got, and then they found out there's more shit. That's the reason why they went to his house. And even though they know they're not supposed to have it, they won't give it up. And that's why they went to his house. He knew this.
Hey, let me ask you a quick, just a quick question. And this isn't really a topic. I just kind of see where you fall on this. You know what do you think about just the whole FBI raiding home situation, just in general, not just Trump, but whether it be black man, white man, drug dealer, fucking human trap, whatever it is. What do you feel about just raids like that, just by the FBI?
I back the blue.
Okay, cool. All right, that's cool. So you didn't really have no issue. I mean, I'm not gonna go into all that, but okay, that's cool. That's cool. Now, my other question. Damn, I had another question for you guys before you guys started going.
Okay, let me ask a question. Let me ask a question, right?
Oh, wait. Did I ever get an answer to my question? What you were trying to prove me right of? That's what I was wanting to see if you got it.
I was talking about black. It was
talking to me. Okay.
It was black.
Okay. Can I ask you a question, right? Can I ask you a question, right? Now, in the part of one of these documents, right, it had two things. It said, one said I believe, and one said I do not believe, right? In any court of law, can you get convicted on I believe or I do not believe? Can any officer go in there and say I believe the suspect or anybody done anything or I don't believe? Could he order them two words and any jury convict him on a belief or disbelief?
Well, I don't know, Black Rose, but what I do know is this, right? Since you asked about believe, I don't know if someone can be convicted on believe. What I do know is this.
You can't.
What I do know is this. What I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe. I mean, I'm
asking logical. I'm asking common sense.
Let me tell you the answer. You can't. Okay, you can't. Yeah, if you say you believe something, then you have to provide evidence in order for that to happen. You can't just say I believe this.
So that's what I was about to get to. It says right here in 17 exactly how the stuff should be stored. So the guy can say, I don't believe it was stored in the right way because it was in the fucking pool room, right? It wasn't in a room that they've described. They describe exactly how the stuff should be stored in this section.
Can I ask you another question?
Wait. Because because you said believe is a way that you can't prove someone guilty. But what about this part that says it should be stored in this way where it wasn't? Could that be proved, make him be proved guilty?
You're not
going to answer my question, please.
I said yes, you're right. You're right. Could I have one more question? Can I ask one more question?
Go ahead.
Clinton believed we're gonna go with
why is that funny? Why is that funny?
Hillary Clinton believed her documents wasn't secret, right? She believed that, right? And she stated that, and Comey believed that. She didn't believe her documents was top secret, right? So if she didn't believe it, right, and Bill Clinton didn't believe it, and other people didn't believe it, right, and they said you can't, and James Comey said he didn't convict her because the documents she didn't have, she couldn't prove that she believed that they was top secret, or she had knowledge that it was top secret. Now, if we're going to apply the same application of law to Donald Trump, right, is it possible, right, that even though they said it was top secret and shit like that, that he didn't believe he had top secret documents? Because from what he said, right, and from what other witnesses that can testify around him, he declassified this information that other people can testify to. The Democrats won't testify to that, but there's a couple of conservatives will, right? So if he believed he disclassified them, right? If he believed they wasn't top secret, right, and anything like that, can they still convict him under the court of law?
I have no idea, Black Rose.
The answer is no.
You don't know either, right? You don't know either.
No, I do know because if the law is applied equally,
let me talk.
You have to have knowledge that you have top secret information.
Allow me to talk for a moment. What you've done is thrown together a word salad of stuff that you think someone else has done wrong, and you compiled it all together and said, so if someone else did something wrong, then you can't send Donald Trump to jail. But that's not how it works, right? Because if I were the lawyer in this case, I would just say, it says you got to store the shit like this. and he didn't store the shit like that. Therefore, we charge him with whatever you get charged with of improperly storing shit, unless they're going to give him a pass because he was the president and he didn't actually touch the shit, he didn't actually move the shit, right? And all someone his aides did it, other people did it, whatever the fuck. But if it were me, I would say, well, this and it appears as if you guys are really hard about the law on some stuff and not on the other, because if you say, well, he clearly didn't store it in the right way because they describe how it should be stored, and that's not how it was stored, and you guys can find a reasoning for that. You can accept the reasoning that where maybe, you know, there's a mistake, or maybe he waved the magic wand or some other stuff.
No, hold on, bro. Hold on, wait. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't try to like set a frame about how we think about the law and how we think about these socio-political issues going on. Don't do that, bro. Like, there's so much shit going on. Hold on. There's so much shit going on in this country right now that none of us know what the fuck is going on, bro. We all trying to figure this shit out. Like, don't try to fucking come at us like, oh, we don't care about what happens to our country. We don't care about
I didn't say any of those things.
I don't know, but you're making it sound like our bias takes precedence over what is right. Like, that's not right.
Tell him
what I'm doing, bro. That's not what I'm doing. Let me explain something.
Your bias takes precedence here. I'll tell you how your bias takes precedence, right? Your bias takes precedence when you say, well, how do we know that he had it stored improperly? And then I read the law that says how it was stored or how it should be stored, and then I describe how it was actually stored, and then you say, well, that's how he broke the law, and you don't say, oh, wow, that's not how it should be stored. You come up with another reason or another excuse of why it's possibly okay. And you keep going down the line of more ways it could be okay, instead of just saying, you know what, you're right, he stored it wrong. You're right, he was supposed to
hold on. You see how there's a whole bunch of black lines through that affidavit?
That has nothing to do with the law, right?
Whoa. Do you see how there's a whole bunch of redacted information on that document that is also a legal document? That's not just some play stuff. That's a legal document. Do you see all that blacked out stuff?
Yeah, yes or no? I read it, so yeah. I read the document. So yeah.
Did you read the blacked out stuff?
You don't have to read the blacked out stuff. They don't want you to read the blacked out stuff.
Exactly. So let's say in your history textbook, right, there's a whole bunch of redacted information. Would you like to kind of know what that redacted information says before you make a well-rounded conclusion about your worldview?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Listen. Let me respond. Because you asked me what am I talking about. So let me clarify what I'm talking about, so you don't tell me where you're going when I ask you where you've been. So listen, you said the redacted information does not matter, correct?
You're talking about the redacted information. I'm talking about the stuff that we can see, right? The stuff that
I get you. No, okay.
Wait. Oh, let me talk.
What the heck?
Don't cut me off. Let me talk. Don't cut me off. You want to discuss what we can't see when we can.
No, I want to discuss it all.
I'm out. You're not gonna let me talk. I'm out. You're not gonna let me talk. You're not gonna let me talk. I'm out. I'm quiet. I ain't say shit for 5 minutes. If you're not gonna let me talk, I'm out.
He was still explaining, Adrian, because
this is the top from the league. He don't want to stay. Once they get to that point, Lionel. Once they get to that point, just knock the dust from your sandals and keep walking, because we're trying to get to the heart of this thing, right? We're trying to get to the heart of this thing, right? So we try to get to the heart of this thing. Now, if he jumped back in, then that would be great, because he said, what are you talking about? So to me, when somebody says, what are you talking about? That means I wasn't clear. So let me re-explain, since you couldn't understand what I was talking about. Like, what's wrong with that? Did I?
He's not going to answer. See, when he was going to ask, right, his question is so predictable, right? Since you said about the things we couldn't see, he's going to try to say, what about the things you can see? That's the things they want you to see. That's the things they want you to see. That's
and Lionel, did you see that? Now, now the question that I followed up with, I took his response, right? So I said, okay, let's talk about the things that you can see. Like I said, okay, let's say in your history textbook, right? If they just showed you all the things that they wanted you to see, and then they had a whole bunch of redacted information, wouldn't you be asking a whole bunch of questions? And that's when it like, bro, that's a pretty that's actually one of the opposite side stance. They don't want redacted history. They want the CRT that teaches all this explicit history. I'm like, I don't know. I don't get it, bro. Like, I don't get like why when it comes to a certain type of question, like they gotta act like, oh, I just can't do, like a female, bro. Like, I just can't do this anymore. I just can't do it. I gotta go. I'm like, bro.
Hey, Freeman, I'm glad. Look, I have a debate with him down there every day, right? And I'm glad you came on, because how he react with you, I want him to see this, right? He doesn't respect anyone's opinion, right? And then when someone makes a point, he doesn't say, are you correct? Even though you say, I agree with you. I tell him I agree with you all the time, right? Then I make a point, right, and he can't agree with me. Like you say, I agree with that, brother. I agree with that. Now, can I add on and ask you another question? No, you can agree with that. You know what I'm saying? But then you can't add on and ask another question, or you'll be wrong. Everything is, you're wrong, you're stupid, and you're this. But we're not all stupid. We're not all of this, right? And he don't understand that. Oh, then both of them left now. We both off now, right? But that was a cool ass debate. But if you still listening, man, you can't get mad and angry when somebody asks you a simple question. You can't get mad and angry and want to cut off and hang up and do all. I mean, I'm pretty sure you ask questions that frustrate people too. You say things that frustrate people too, but as soon as somebody say something you don't like, or somebody say something that contradict what you say, you want to get off, and that's not wrong. That's wrong, and it's not educational. It's not. Right? You can't. Hold on. It's not. And that's just how fucking liberals argue all the time. They want to throw their emotions out. They want to say that as soon as you hit them with facts, simple facts, it's like, okay, I don't want to hear it. The question you finna ask is so predictable. Because I said all liberals will say, why we gonna keep on going over predictable shit? Oh, I'm just going off the information that they're telling me. I'm going off the information that they're showing. I'm going off the information that is given to me. Instead of asking questions. There's so many people that's fucked up on Donald Trump and fucked up and want him to go to jail. They can overlook anything truthful. They can lift up anything that may be out of line. They can overlook all that shit because they want to convict Donald Trump so bad. And that's a fucked up thing when you have that much emotion and that much anger towards a man, right? That has nothing to do with nothing, right? You can say he was racist. You can talk about his views. You can talk about how he ran things. But there's one thing you can't talk about, and that's his motherfucking policies. You can't talk about that. You can't talk about everything he done for the country, right? You may disagree with it, right? But you can't deny the fact. It's a reason why me and people like Sergeant Mo and Freeman that are black men, right, follow this conservative party. And it's not we're Trump supporters, but we also conservatives. It's not about Donald Trump all the time. Not about Donald Trump. It's about the conservative party and the movement. It's about America. It's about our country. It's not about freedom. It's about righteousness. It's about protection. It's not about just Donald Trump all the time. So when you always attach us to Donald Trump, you lose sight of what we're really fighting for, and that's the country. We fight against child molesters. We fight against motherfuckers' abortion. We fight against people who want to fuck over the border. We fight against freedom of speech. We fight against people who want to fuck over our kids with sex changes and shit like that. We're fighting for a cause. But every time we get caught, every time we fight for that cause, right? And somebody, oh, you crazy for believing him. Oh, you crazy for believing that the FBI, it can't be corrupt. That the FBI, the same party that say, well, we don't want Donald Trump up here. We got a fucking game plan. We're going to get him up out of office. The same motherfucking FBI that admitted to on certain shows that they spied on campaigns. The same FBI that sent fake fucking search warrant, fake affidavit, and fake everything to get Carter Page house ready, to get all kind of shit. We supposed to believe in these motherfuckers when after 6 years, Donald Trump haven't got a lick of conviction of guilty. We're supposed to believe him over a fucking phone call, over fucking Russian collusion. We're supposed to believe we're supposed to believe everything the Democrats say, and they haven't proven anything in 6 years. With everything Donald Trump has said about Russian collusion, about Joe Biden, about the fucking Hunter Biden, but everything he has said has came to fucking light. Ain't Nothing Joe Biden said came to life. We supposed to believe Joe Biden and FBI over somebody who's been truthful to us throughout the fucking years. No matter what you believe, it's what we believe and what we follow. Fuck what you believe.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, you want to sit up there and I used to be a fucking liberal, right? I'm not finna sit up there and support no child molesters. I'm not finna sit up here and support no motherfucking man that want to be a fucking woman and take up with women's rights. I'm not finna support nobody who want to kill a baby at 9 months. I won't support nobody who let immigrants come over this motherfucker and get little babies getting their fucking organs harvested and shit like that. I'm not gonna support nobody like that. I'm not gonna support nobody who get up on a fucking national stage and in front of a fucking audience call everybody who support the motherfucking conservative party a fucking fascist. I don't even know what the fucking fascist is, and I've been called one. You think I'm gonna follow some shit like that? You think I'm gonna agree with some shit like that? A motherfucker calling me racist, a motherfucker calling me stupid because I believe in Donald Trump, a motherfucker calling me stupid because I believe in the words he say. Oh, you believe in it, and he can lie to you, and he can say anything you want. You think I'm stupid enough to let a motherfucker lie to me? You think I'm stupid enough to believe when the motherfucker's racist and the motherfucker got racist views? I'm not smart enough, educated enough to see that shit. I'm just dumb. I'm a fucking sheep, and I'm just going with the motherfucking wind. That sound like your party. That sound like the shit you do. That sound like the shit. That don't sound like the shit I do. I have a freedom of doing the fuck I want to. And don't nobody on my channel say, you shouldn't say that. You shouldn't talk about that. You shouldn't do that. They want the truth on my channel. That's why they come to my channel, for the motherfucking truth. If I was lying on this motherfucking channel, I wouldn't have all these people. If I was lying on this motherfucking channel, people would be watching me. If I was digging up fake stats and shit like that, people would go to other news channels, right? But I look up the fucking facts, and that's why I'm a motherfucking Republican and a conservative, because I go with the facts and not the motherfucking feelings. And you just proved the point, right? You just said you're not a liberal, you just said you're not a Democrat, but you just done everything a fucking liberal done. You cut people off, you work with emotion, and then when the conversation got to a deep point, you folded up and you fucking ran. That's what the fuck Democrats do. That's what the fuck liberals do. Instead of sitting on this motherfucker like a man, answering questions, giving out questions, and allowing motherfuckers to talk as a man in a debate. The only motherfucker don't allow you to talk in conversation is when you argue with women that gets attitude and don't want to hear and run. We men. That's what I like about being conservative. I'm a fucking man. And that's what fucking men do. We face problems, we take them on, and we don't run from them. We hear shit, we debate, and we don't like it, we move along. But it's a man shit. You don't do that shit. You don't accuse people over and over again and shit and don't allow him to respond. I mean, this is my partner. I've been called stupid by this nigga for calling the Republican Party. I've been called a sheep. I've been calling racist. The whole party is racist. The whole party is this. Come on, man. I don't see that every white person that's in my chat has shown me love. You know what I'm saying? Every white person I ran into that's Republican, and I ain't seen all of them, they were very respectful. The only motherfucker been disrespectful to me as a black man is Democrat. It's fucking liberal. And the only motherfucker been racist to me, a white liberal, that's the most racist motherfucker in the world. I ain't never had no motherfucking problem with no motherfucking white conservative. I ain't saying I probably wouldn't have one. I ain't gonna run into one. There ain't nothing racist because they are. But I ain't ran into none of them. You know what I'm saying? And you keep on telling me about my party, this and my party, that. I'm looking at your party like, what the fuck you talking about my party? And your party is doing the shit. I mean, you just lots of fucking a school bill that's gonna take money out of motherfuckers' pockets for the next couple of generations. They doing shit. They stopping oil. They stopping gas. They not right. I mean, they fucking up the country into a place we don't even know what the fuck the country is no more. In 5 years, if the Democrats keep ruling this motherfucker, we ain't gonna know what the fuck this country gonna look like. Right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, I had to bring him on here to debate, and hopefully he can see that shit. Because sometimes liberals need to see themselves for what they is, and then they need to understand what the fuck they do. That shit is hateful what you do. And that shit Joe Biden do. That shit separates countries. That shit ain't bringing nobody closer together. That shit ain't, when you sit up and you call people fascists and racist and they stupid and all, that shit is not gonna, how you gonna call me fascist and racist and stupid and you want me to come and vote with you or believe your, or share your beliefs? I'm not gonna do no shit like that. Here he come right now, I'm gonna let him talk, you know what I'm saying? And Freeman can get his ass.
Real quick.
Hold on, go ahead.
Oh, okay. No, I was just gonna say, man. Notice how we kind of just stayed on just. We didn't even go, bro, until the other parts of the effort, to the other parts of the investigation. Like now we know a bunch of stuff about Joe Biden he didn't know. You know what I mean? Is you saying too? You saying y'all was on early?
Hey, Black.
Yeah, huh? You been talking. What you mean? You been talking?
Motherfucker, I ain't said a fucking word. First off, the reason why I got fucking pissed is because I let your boy talk for 5 minutes to ask his long question, and I sat quietly and waited for him to fucking respond. And as soon as he finished, you said, and another thing, and then you want to add on your long ass motherfucking commentary to it, to where I can't even respond to what the fuck you're talking about because you're gonna make me solve the question so motherfucking long and confusing. And then what the fuck are you talking about? I'm emotional. Motherfucker, you was emotional ranting for the last 5 fucking minutes. I'll talk about this. I got shit to do, right? I gotta take my fucking daughter to a concert tonight. I told you when I called your motherfucking ass, I have 15 motherfucking minutes. Right? I've been on this motherfucker for over 30 minutes. So that means that I'm not doing what I should do. But I'm arguing with two stupid motherfuckers about some stupid shit. And if I show you the fucking answer and you still refuse to see it, that's not because I'm a liberal and it's not because I'm a Democrat. Because you refuse to fucking understand what the motherfucking answer is. And you say, why the fuck is the door locked? The door was locked, not because they told them to lock it. They told the motherfuckers to lock it and don't go in there because we don't want to fucking go because it's classified. That's not how so it's all of this shit about why was his home fucking raided. If you believe what Donald Trump says, then you don't have to believe the affidavit. But if you say, well, let's see the affidavit, and then we read it, and you say, fuck the affidavit. Why you want it? Why did you want it? You don't want that shit. But you know what? This is the last time I'm coming over here. This is the last time I'm doing this shit, Black. Because you set me up again. You just stay through the fucking mode. You say, hey, you want to talk to me? And then I show up with somebody else here, and because you want me to argue with that motherfucker. So this is the last time I come over here. This is the last time I talk about this. Because I'm over it. Because I don't give a fuck, right? I'm not a Democrat or Republican. I don't give a fuck. I talk to you about the shit because you want to talk about it, but I really don't give a fuck.
All right, hey, well, first of all, right? That's your preference if you don't want to come on here no more, right? That's your preference, right? And I have to do this because, right? You say you don't get emotional, you just got emotional right then and there, right? And then at the beginning, when I said I'm going to be the mediator, I just wanted to add on a simple question. The question I asked didn't take 10 seconds, right? And he knows that because when we have conversations offline, I ask the same thing. Can I get 10 seconds? Can I ask my question, right? And he don't let me do that. Just like he tried to do it here. It would be easier to argue with me and then not answer your question. You know what I'm saying? It would be a whole lot easier. I can argue with him, you know what I'm saying? But so I can get all the questions that he asked me. That's a whole lot easier. Instead of answering your question, right? When you get done screaming, right? Oh, that's you want to start my movie. You get automatic with it. Oh, man. That's so typical and predictable, you know?
And I didn't think it was all that, man. I just wanted to once again kind of get to the heart of the situation. Because what's gonna happen is, man, I'm gonna tell you like this, it's gonna happen the same way it's been happening. Donald Trump covers his bases. Donald Trump he's pretty good about covering his bases, really.
Your phone breaking up. Your phone. Hello? His phone breaking up.
Hey, I just wanted to jump in. I'm sorry.
Hey, Miss Black Barbie!
How are you?
How you doing, Miss Black Barbie? This sexy
Good.
Miss Black Barbie is on here.
I wanted to bring up the entrapment because as we saw with the whole Russia collusion and everything, it's all one big setup after another. And for me, I brought up the chain of custody because who says that those documents weren't implanted into evidence so that he can be convicted? You know, they have to prove the chain of custody. They have to prove where those documents came from and how he got control of them, and they have to prove their case because right now this is all circumstantial evidence, and that's what I was trying to say in the chat.
And I was having a conversation with him the other day. You can't convict nobody on circumstantial evidence, right? All that is evidence supposed to back up a fact. You can't convict nobody on circumstantial evidence, right? And I asked him the same questions, you know what I'm saying, that you're asking, you know, and that other people ask in the chat. But when you got somebody like that who always got on their mind that someone's guilty and someone's already that's a fucked up person, right? And he gonna use everything negative against him, try to spin a whole negative, right? And what I'm telling him, right, is like, I'm not saying Donald Trump is perfectly clean, but do you believe the FBI is infallible? They don't make mistakes, that they don't lie, that they, you know, they're
Right.
totally honest. We got a long track record, right? And we got a
Right.
long track record of them trying to do things against Donald Trump, and everything, and every time Donald
And
Trump,
American people.
yeah,
American
and
people.
American
You got to
people,
go back to the Patriot Act and how these laws got into place and why we're up to the ID system now. And the problem is he's a baby. He hasn't dealt with law enforcement and the fact that they have immunity. They can lie and plant evidence and they don't have to be proven wrong. They proven you guilty, not the other way around. That's a whole
exactly.
nother civil case.
Exactly. And like, just like Carter Page, right? I mean, they had all these warrants against Carter Page, right? You know what I'm saying? Raiding stuff, they raiding houses and stuff. What none of it true, right? The FBI, and when you put the stuff like belief up in there, and I believe and I do not believe, that is not legal term. You cannot go in any kind of courtroom and say, "Well, I believe." The DA wouldn't even pick that up and you say, I believe. You have to have a fact. You have to have evidence. You have to have collaborating witnesses. You have to have a lot of different things for you to convict somebody, not a belief.
Right,
I
and
believe.
just even how they selected jury. Like they ask the jury certain questions so they make sure they get a certain outcome. Because you have to remember, it is the state that has to prove you guilty. It is the federal government that has to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a criminal case. So they do whatever is necessary, including taking out information and making the person look guilty. Doesn't mean that they are, but they make them look guilty, and especially through the media and stuff, which is a big tool of the government, and that's where he's going off of his information is off of the media. That document can be a complete lie. It's a testimony. It does not mean that those documents were literally stored that way. It means that someone's testifying to it being that way, and that's why you get the words like I believe. But it does not mean that it's true. And this is why it has to be brought in front of a jury, and even still you can lose because of the way that the judge handles the trial with the handling of information.
Exactly. And people want to see that. I mean, that's perfect sense, but people don't want to hear perfect sense when you're working with emotion. You know what I'm saying? And you may not see it as emotion and stuff like that, but when your judgment is so clouded that you can't read between the lines, right? Like Friedman gave a perfect example. If I give you a history book and you got lines that are redacted, right? Don't you want to know what's in that in under them lines so you can get the full story, right? That's like if somebody going to feed you a story. What the the Democrats been doing my whole life. They fed me a story, right? About racism, about Republicans, about all that. It's not until me personally I redacted them lines and started reading what's behind them lines so I got the understanding of the truth. You don't understand the truth until you get the whole picture. They give you half the picture. They can spin a narrative on however they want to.
Right, absolutely. And that's why I brought up when you asked about how does he feel about the raids and everything else on even just normal people. I think Freeman might have brought that
Yeah,
up.
Freeman brought that up.
Under the Fourth Amendment, right? It's our constitutional right against unlawful search and seizure. That is wrong. They're not supposed to be doing that. They're not supposed to be searching through your cars and stuff because they asked you to. They need a warrant. And that warrant that was issued, I wanted to bring up, was signed by a judge who was supposed to be on the case that Trump had against Hillary Clinton, and he removed himself because of biasness against Trump. So that's real funny that that's the same judge that signed the warrant. And people need to look at all the information and just jump instead of just jumping to conclusions because the media tells them a story. He has no clue what he's talking about. He doesn't understand the deep state and the whole situation that we're dealing with on the country as a whole. We're in the fight for the souls of America. It says it right there on Joe Biden's podium. Anybody can look it up. This is not just a regular political war. This is the souls of America, because we're dealing with trades. We're dealing with all types of stuff. There is levels on top of levels. And this is why they did rig the election, because they don't want us to have our constitutional rights. And that's what they're dismantling. And unfortunately, with the mindset like he has, he will lose his rights and end up in a re-educational center. And then he'll be calling for somebody to come and save him.
Yeah, because it's about reprogramming, right? I'm not fit to like he don't see like they got people so mad at Donald Trump, they don't see where the rest of society going. They don't see things like critical race theory, or what they trying to do with our kids about the sex, calling kids birthing persons, having men take over women rights and shit like that, right? Like, but people so angered on Donald Trump, right? They don't see all the other shit, or they looking past the other shit, the abortions and shit like that, right?
And the
They looking
CHIPS
past
Act.
all
They
that,
just passed the CHIP Acts, which allow human beings to have microchips inside of them. How about the Neuralink and all this stuff that's going on, and people are worried about how he stored documents? Really?
Exactly. We got a federal digital dollar probably come out that's going to be able to cut your money off and cut it on whenever they feel like it's supposed to be. And we worried about some fucking documents. We
Right.
worried about
Social credit system. Absolutely.
because we worried about
Absolutely.
how documents are stored and stuff like that. When you got babies coming over here from different countries getting organs taken out. You know what I'm saying? You got different shit like that, right? And we
Right.
worried
And,
about some
and
fucking
then
things.
you see, and this is why I feel like it's entrapment, because here it is. Trump came out and he spoke about the coyotes, which they tried to laugh and make it seem like it was animals and not the actual human trafficking ring that was going on. In fact, I have a political background, and I actually spoke with a politician who said they have technology inside that wall to see the underground tunnels. That's what that wall was for. It wasn't because Donald Trump is racist, but it's because they know they were using tunnels for human trafficking and all types of drugs and everything else. But they don't tell people that. They make it seem like he's racist, he's a bigot, and all this stuff. Meanwhile, he was really trying to fight the corruption, and this is why I still back Donald Trump.
If you look up Operation Cobra, right? Operation Cobra, right? Was done right in partnership with Mexico. You know what I'm saying? To go after fentanyl drug dealers, right? That was a big old thing in the United States, like 4 years ago, right? When Donald Trump was busting drug dealers all over Mexico and all over the United States for fentanyl, heroin, all kinds of shit, knocking down Mexican dough. Remember, he had Operation Cobra, right, for the drug dealers, right? He had Operation I forgot the name of that little boy for the gang member when he got all the guns off the street and shit like that. Remember that when that little boy
Right.
died and he got shot in apartments? He named
Right,
the little
and
guards
what
for him.
did Obama have? Obama had Fast and the Furious, where they were giving guns. What did Biden do? He left all the guns and weapons and stuff to the Taliban, right? So let's really look at these parties under a microscope and be truthful here. People don't want to be honest; they want to be biased, and that's what the problem is.
Yeah, people want to hate. That's why I say, like, people want to have the energy to hate this person, hate that person. Like for me being a Republican, right? I don't think, and I don't see the Republicans being on offense as hate, right? I see them being on defense as hate, right? They hate the shit that's going on. They hate the law. They hate this shit, right? Because I don't have to hate gay people, but I can hate that you're trying to put a gay person inside a women's sport. Inside the Olympics, I don't have to hate abortion. I can hate that you're trying to do abortions at 9 months. You know what I'm saying? It's certain things I don't have to. It's certain things that I don't agree with. That I don't necessarily. I mean, certain things that I don't agree with, right? But it's certain things I truly don't agree with, right? But if you talk to a Democrat or a liberal about certain things, they absolutely hate Donald Trump. They absolutely hate that this, you know, and
Because they're ignorant. They don't know anything
especially
about policies. You can't ask them anything about policies. They listen to the media. The media tells them everything. This is why it's called brainwashing. The TV moves at a certain frame rate to bypass your logic and reason. And a lot of people are on drugs. Let's be just honest here. They have no logic and reason left. So they can't even understand a conversation like you and I are having right now.
Yeah, that's why that's why it's television. Tell lies to your vision. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't help your vision. It tells lies to your vision and it distorts your vision. You know what I'm saying? They can interpret and they can put anything they want into a TV show or to a skit or to a news, right? It's up to you to go out and find the truth, right? And then it's like we shouldn't be debating what's what policy is right or what policy is wrong. We should be debating what policies are lawful, because our country is based on laws. Because you can say one thing is right and I can say one thing is right, and they both sound logical. But what is the law? We can both say,
Absolutely.
yeah,
And the Constitution is the supreme law
yes,
of the land, and a lot of these case laws are not matching up to the constitutional laws, and a lot of these governors are coming in and changing laws that are supposed to protect the people. And that's why I said he's going to cry when he realizes what he's doing, because he's taking away his own rights. He can sit here and think it's about Donald Trump, but at the end of the day, when they're dragging his daughter out because of an illegal rape, he's going to cry. That same daughter that he wants to pick up, when the cops kick down his door, because that's what they're doing in other countries right now, dragging people out onto the street when he doesn't have the ration food, he doesn't have enough food for his family. He's not going to be worried about how those documents were stored.
because
Okay,
it's like,
because right now they're changing those laws.
and it's like this right now, right? When, and when a government can do what the fuck they want to with your money, and you're not able to take care of your kid like you're supposed to, then you're gonna have concerns, right? Right now, it's a lot of people living in certain ways, so they're not really worried about it because it's not directly affecting them, right? It's not affecting them right now, but it's going to affect you sooner or later, because they just don't make laws. Them laws are not just made for Republicans, right? They're not going to come up with no digital dollar and just gonna cut Republicans off, right? They're not going to come up with no digital dollar and just monitor Republicans. They're not going to come up with these laws and this all these high taxes and all this old shit, right? And it is going to affect the Republicans. But
And
it's a
they're
food
getting rid
story.
of gas cars. There will
Man,
be
come
no
on.
more gas cars soon. California is on the verge of outlawing gas cars. Okay, so what does that mean? You're gonna have to be an electric car, and they're gonna tell you where you're coming and going, what you can do, because those cars are equipped with chips, okay, and self-driving capabilities. So he needs to really open up his eyes. He thinks he's in a war against the truth, but the truth is they're in a war against him. They're in a war against humanity. We're all fighting right now, whether we're Democrat, Republican. Soon, if we don't protect this country, we won't have a country. It don't matter what color you are, what nationality you are, what your religion is, what any of that gender. None of that stuff matters. If you gay, straight, whatever. The goal is that we will own nothing and we will be happy.
Be
They
happy.
are moving forward with this stuff full steam.
And they
Okay,
tell you, and they're not even hiding it. The thing about it, right, is they not even hiding it no more. It's in your face. They're telling you what the fuck we're going to do. We're going to do this. They're not even hiding it no more. And people are protecting. That's what was crazy about it. People are actually protecting this shit, right? And they believe, because the motherfuckers say, oh, we're in a race for to save our democracy. They actually believe that Republicans are trying to take away the United States democracy. How?
because we're a republic, we're not a democracy. That, let's be honest here.
Exactly.
They don't even know that. The few rule the many. We are not in a democracy. The democracy does not decide. The electoral college picks the president every freaking time. Okay? All we do is we vote for the electoral college. Okay? And they can vote any way they want.
We don't we
And
don't we don't we don't we don't believe in a democracy. I mean, we don't live in a democracy, because you know what a democracy is? A democracy is, right, if you lose the minority lose their voice, right? And you have no rights. That's like saying if somebody get caught stealing, right? And we're in a democracy, if everybody say, hey, that motherfucker is stealing, right? You know what I'm saying? Everybody agree, you know what I'm saying? Guess what? That person stealing, he gonna get served the penalties and whatever, right? And the republic, if everybody say, hey, that person is stealing, well, you gotta go to court and prove that person was stealing. That's
right.
what a republic. A democracy is everybody say he's stealing. Fuck it, he's stealing. He's
Right.
gonna face the penalties. And the republic, a constitution, you got to go with the constitution. If
Right.
he's
We have
stealing,
representatives.
yeah,
Yep.
pull him, get him in front of a jury or whatever, a representative, and prove he was stealing, and then he faced the penalty. We do not want to live in a democracy, because a democracy, you have rulers. You
Because
have,
the
I mean,
crowd
yeah,
the crowd has a different mind than the individual. The crowd
yes,
can be confused. The crowd doesn't know what they're talking about. We see this right now with the media controlling majority of the country through the crowd. The crowd has no idea. I talked to somebody the other day. They didn't even know what Let's Go Brandon was. Like, I
that's
was
right.
surprised. It is surprising the level of intelligence of people who claim to have gone to college and everything else. Their intelligence levels are so low. that they don't even know what's going on. All they know, they'll tell you about a sports team, but they don't know anything about what's going on in the real world that affects them. They don't know anything about the policies of the land that they live on. They know nothing, and it's
Go
very sad.
Go take your ass to a country that live in a real democracy and see how your ass like it. See what kind of rights you have. See what kind of rules you have. See what kind of legal rights you have and all those
I
shit.
tell
You
you
don't
what, he
have
wouldn't be
none.
reading that paper. He would not be reading that document.
You would have
He
none.
wouldn't even be allowed to go to school. They don't even, they have to pay to go to school, okay? Let's be
Yeah.
honest here. They do not live like we live in America. God bless America, the greatest country on earth, and I will always say that. You know,
For right
God
now.
bless America.
For right now, it's the greatest country on earth, right? But we
Look,
keep on
as
making
long as I
Democrats
got some dollars, I'm good right now.
but you feel me? But you don't want the motherfucking Democrats to come take that shit away because it's coming so it's becoming so fucked up because now they're saying right, and I know it can go there. They can try to take your political funding away if you support a political party or you support somebody have a certain political views and they don't like it, right? They're going to come after you, right? And they set that shit
Absolutely.
up.
They already did it with PayPal, Cash App. They got all those systems that people use to send money to each other. They're monitoring everything. And like you had about the IRS agents and all these people, they got guns and everything else. And yet, American people, protected by the Second Amendment, are not allowed to have guns. Are you kidding me? This is insane. Like, I'm really waiting for people to wake up and start understanding they have a right to form a militia and govern the government. That's our job, is to make sure the people in office are doing their job to represent the people in the
Remember,
best interests of the country.
Remember when Joe Biden first was in office, how all the people on the View and all this old stuff talking about they need to go after the Republicans for having certain kind of views for supporting Donald Trump and stuff like that, you know, and they was talking about actually going after the View and all of them. Like since we got in office now,
Your
we need to
favorite
go
lady,
after. Yeah,
Maxine Waters. Catch him
yeah,
in the parking lot. Catch him
yeah.
in the restaurant.
They need to be reclassified. Do you think for 1 minute? Let me tell you something, right? Do you think for 1 minute if they got control over your finances, right? You don't think they're gonna reprogram you? You don't think they're gonna make you say what they want you to say or believe what they want you to believe in, right? If they
The
got control of
one
your money,
who
right?
has the
All of your
gold
money,
makes the
try to
rules.
talk
That's the
about some
golden
transgender if
rule.
you want to.
That's the golden rule. The one who has the gold makes the rules.
Yeah, try
That's
to
the
talk about
golden rule.
transgender if you want to.
You're not.
Try to talk about this person right or that person right if you don't want to. Try to donate to this party if you want to,
You
right?
can't.
Because they have financial control over money right now. You think people will be able to donate to Donald Trump or anything to help
Nope.
Donald Trump fight against corruption or fight against
Or any of
the
us.
elite? Hell no.
Any of us.
Yeah, they're
You
going
know?
after you. And that's what people don't fail to realize, right? Because like you see, 97% of the news are all the liberal news. You have to find conservative news. You have to, most local news in LA, right? You get your news from Facebook, the local news, right? Instagram or some of these liberal ass commentators out here, you know what I'm saying, they got these shows. It's very seldom that you're in LA and you get some kind of conservative shit, right? Do you know in LA, people don't even know about the Inflation Reduction Bill. They don't know nothing about that. Joe Biden, that's a big fucking deal. If you ask people in LA, they know nothing about that shit. They know nothing about the birthday mother. They know nothing about late-term abortion, right? They know nothing about giving your kids a dick, right? They don't know. They don't know anything about these laws, right? So while the Democrats saying, "Oh, these laws gonna help this and laws," and people agree with that, people are in the street who really don't know politics, right? They know nothing about none of these fucking bills. Nothing.
Right.
Nothing. You
Well,
know what I'm saying?
that's why
So
we got you.
so so
Haha.
so when you go and you explain it to them, right, and you go and you like for real, I didn't know that, and I wish I can record every conversation I had with people who didn't know about this shit that Joe Biden and the Democrats are doing. They don't know shit because people ain't telling. I'm pretty sure the local news ain't gonna put up they killing babies at 9 months. I'm pretty sure the local news ain't gonna tell the taxpayers you're gonna have to pay for this debt that these colleges done left over. I'm pretty sure they're not telling the parents that you're gonna go to jail if you deny your baby from getting a dick if she a girl, or you deny the sexuality. They're going to jail for this shit. They're going to jail
Right.
for saying you can have sex with this person or this person.
Population
Come
control.
on. Yeah, it's population
It's
control.
population control. But see, I totally agree with you, and this is why I jumped on the show. First off, y'all was saying he was acting like a girl. Well, I'm very much a girl, and I'm reasonable.
Yeah.
But that's out of the way. But the whole energy that he has to look at his own life, his own children, and he has to decide what type of country he wants them to live in. Because to me, the biggest problem with this side of the party is that people are divided. They're not united. On the other side, they're united. They go full through with their plans. They get people in positions and they carry out the orders of genocide. On this side, people are complaining about who's Christian, who's not, who's black, who's white, who's for this party, who's not. Like, it's so petty stuff. But at the end of the day, they want us all dead. So if they want us all dead, you think it really matters if your neighbor's Muslim or not?
And look, and Joe Biden talking about all this shit, right? And I don't see how the Republicans, how the Democrats don't know this shit is coming. Joe Biden talking about all these clean energy jobs, all these jobs we're gonna get for the future, all these jobs, all this union shit, right? But then he's not talking about you got Flippy inside of every damn hamburger stand, kicking niggas out of the hamburger. He flipping burgers and doing the fries his motherfucking self. While you go to the grocery store and you got the self-checkout lines that kicking the motherfuckers that do the bags and ring up the groceries out, right? When you go to Frisco and they getting rid of the Uber drivers and they got self-driving cars that are not Uber drivers, they don't tell you. He talk about the job, but he don't tell you about the technology, right? Yep. And all these robots that are actually taking over the job. He don't tell you about these Fortune 500 companies kicking their employers off and shit like that because they don't need them no more. Right? So where do you think these motherfuckers with these college education and all this experience gonna go? Right? They're not gonna go work at McDonald's.
Georgia Guidestones.
You know what I'm saying? They let them go all this shit, right? I'm doing a skit right now, right? When about the clean energy, right? When they tried this shit before, they tried this solar panel shit and all that shit. They tried this shit before, right? And it didn't work. Mm-hmm. It didn't work. You know why? Because they put all this money in and all this other shit, and the thing collapsed. That's what I'm doing a skit on right now. They already tried this clean energy shit under Barack, and it was a fucking scam. They tried it again.
But this time they got Starlink, Neuralink, and a couple of things in place. So this time around, this is for enslavement of the human race. And they're moving forward with the enslavement. If anybody knows about CERN and the fact that they just opened up interdimensional portals and all the different stuff that's going on underneath the scene, a lot of this money is being funded into those type of projects. As you know, like Project Bluebeam and then Area 51, all that stuff deals with interdimensional alien beings. So at the end of the day, the real big agenda is for the human enslavement.
Exactly. Now this is what I'm. Let me show you. Let me show you what I'm doing on right now. Let me show you, give you a little glimpse on what I'm doing right now. This is what I'm adding on to the skit I'm doing right now. This old solar power shit Joe Biden talking about. It's already been done over 10 years ago, and it wasn't right. They still didn't have it right. This shit right here.
These challenges are getting a lot of attention with the recent collapse of Solyndra, the California solar panel maker backed by the Obama administration and touted as a potential game changer. It went bankrupt this month, leaving taxpayers holding the bag for potentially $500 million.
It's already been done. The clean energy shit already been done with Barack Obama. We got caught holding the bag because the motherfucker flopped, right?
It sounds like they took that money. I think they took that money like they always take that money, and they buy mansions and the people living in shacks and project housing and stuff. They took that money.
That's what I'm doing right now, huh? It flopped under Obama. This shit flopped. Come on, man. We already done that shit, man. We already had this solar power shit. We already had this, and it flopped. Left the taxpayers on the hook with billions of dollars. The companies folded up and left. Nobody answered for them. Nobody said anything. And guess who was vice president? Oh, Joe Biden.
Burisma, right? No, you talking about Hunter? Yeah, Hunter. Isn't he part of the energy company?
Yeah.
Burisma. And Hillary's daughter too. I think all their children sit on that board, or at least have sat on that board one time in their existence. So I think this is money laundering. That's what I think is happening. They setting people up with the bill while they getting rich.
Just look at all the things that the Democrats are into, right? How many Democrats were actually had jobs or businesses before they hopped into politics? If you look at most of the Republicans, right, they had careers before they was politicians. Most army captains,
That's
generals,
true.
business. Look at Martin
But
Taylor
they're
Greene and Donald
socialists.
Trump. They had businesses, careers, all that shit. Most of the people in the Republican had a life before they turned a
Right.
Republican. Had a
It's
life that was
socialism.
successful.
Socialism slash communism versus capitalism. Capitalism
Yeah.
is the greatest type of policy we can have. But they demonize capitalism, where you're supposed to vote with your pocketbook, and they bail people out. Like, look at the whole Wall Street thing. Eat the rich. Yeah, right. They bailed out all those companies, right? Why people lost their homes. Okay, that they believe in socialism, communism, and Marxism, and they want other people to believe in that system so they can control your wealth. It's point blank. They want to control everything.
Think of like this. Nancy Pelosi been in public service, you know what I'm saying, and her father, she been in her whole life, right? Look at Joe Biden, 50 years. You know what I'm saying? Look at Dianne Feinstein. Look at Adam Schiff. None of these motherfuckers ever had job. Their only job in life was taking money from you, giving it to somebody else. Never had a job in their whole life.
Right, the Robin Hood
Never.
Society.
They got
The
an
Robin
economic
Hood
board.
Society.
Yeah, they got an economical whatever board, right? When nobody on that motherfucker have any experience with economics. Everybody,
Right, but they do the same thing with college. They hire professors that never own businesses, never did the careers that they're teaching, and yet you're supposed to go there and get real world information from these colleges from people who never did it. I think Jay-Z said everybody could tell you how to do it, but they never did it.
and then you got they came out with the new documentation for the teachers, right? You cannot be a teacher at certain universities unless you pass a fucking socialist test, right? You have to pass this test to prove that you're fit to teach this class, right? And that class has all socialist, whatever the fuck you want to call it, right? You got to be them to be a socialist, right? To be a teacher at a university now. Go ahead and Google it. It's people that's turning down teachers if you got conservative views and you can't teach the way they want you to teach. You can't teach the curriculum no more. You have to teach the what's given to you. Don't teach with this math and this history or whatever. Teach this Black Matter Live shit or whatever this racist shit is. They're not even teaching you regular shit no more. If you don't pass this course, you can't be a teacher. Huh?
Right, they're taking away our freedoms.
You can't be a teacher. Right? And they don't see, and people don't see where this shit is going. Look what they're telling you, right? And I know you a fucking liberal, whatever fuck you is, a Democrat, but look what they're telling you. They're telling you if we're only going to put teachers in classrooms that are going to obey and teach your kids what we want them to know, not what they need to know, what we want them to know. And people don't see that shit. That's why in Florida, most of the parents took over all them positions inside of that school board shit. They got voted in. We need to take these positions because we need to know what our kids are being taught. Right? The Santos said you can't teach little kids gay shit. Oh, he didn't want to say don't say gay bill. No, he never said that. He said we're not teaching that shit to little kids.
Right, because they're not even supposed to have a sexuality, remember? Like,
Exactly.
I don't understand how we went from children don't have sexual preferences to now they have to have a sexual preference and even hormones and sex changes. Otherwise, the parents could be held accountable. Like, that doesn't even make sense. That's up to the teachers now? That's crazy.
It's think about it, right? We went from, right, when I was born, right, when I was growing up, they said, worry about school. You can worry about girls later on. You can worry about sexuality later on, basically, right? But now we're teaching our kids, learn about sex first, and you can learn about your education more, right? They learn
so you can't read policy.
Yeah.
So you can't read the policies. You just entrapped.
You feel me? They want to say, well, your kid can be gay. He can learn about his dick. He can learn all these pronouns. He can learn this. And then he can learn math. What?
And then he'll be on Epstein's island somewhere. Poor thing.
Exactly. Like right now, our kids are left behind because of COVID. 2 years without education, right? And instead of putting something in place for them to catch up back on their education, they want to Double down on it. We're gonna go
Because
further
that
than what
is
this is.
all against the laws of science. Come on, there's no data proving all the stuff that they had people doing. They say trust the science, but what science are they talking about? The science of natural selection? I mean, they didn't say what science to trust. They just go around, oh, trust the science. But yet, if you look at the data and the information behind that, gain of function research, everything that was going on, okay, if people trust the science, they would have ran down the government and overtook it already.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Why you think Dr. Fauci's retiring? Why you think the bitch
Right.
apologizing? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm sorry. We should have listened more. We should have done this. You know what I'm saying? Why you think all these people are coming out now
Because they
because they
knew
know
what
they
they were
fucked up?
doing. Yeah, they knew what they were doing. They absolutely 1000% knew. They had these things created before it even hit. You figured they didn't want Donald Trump saying China, putting all them tariffs on China. It's so funny because he's so hated because he tried to stop where we're at right now. Okay? And people don't look at that. People don't look at what he was doing. They said that he was going to fold the country by putting tariffs on China and starting to hit them with intellectual property laws because they were taking Americans' intellectual property and recreating all our stuff like they've been doing for years, bootlegging. I have nothing against Chinese people, but I do have something against the Chinese government.
Yeah, they send people over to schools. One person had a visible cloth, right? Cloth came over here, took our technology, went over there, created his own little thing, picture thing, and became a millionaire, a billionaire, right? They do that all the time. We got so many spies. We got all that shit up in there. And when Donald Trump
And
tried to
real
stop
estate.
that,
Look at
tried to
all the
stop
real
TikTok,
estate.
he
All
was
the
telling
real
people,
estate. Yep, and TikTok. Joe Rogan came on and was reading the clause of TikTok, how they can access any device using your account once you sign up. All of the stuff that they can do under the Chinese government, because it's underneath them. And the whole thing, I was reading something about how even the government over there in China got infiltrated to where they are now. So all this is takeovers. We're watching takeovers, and right now our country is up for a hostile takeover. Are we going to sit back and let this happen?
somebody, we had a conversation about trusting the FBI, right? I should trust the FBI over Donald Trump. Mark Zuckerberg just came out yesterday and said the FBI literally told him to don't cover the Hunter Biden shit. Take the shit off. It's false information. Somebody gonna come to you line up with this shit. The FBI literally told Mark Zuckerberg this shit when they had all the evidence of Hunter Biden's computer, had everything, but told Mark Zuckerberg this is false information, this, and that, and take this information off. So you mean to tell me this FBI agency that's supposed to be so hunky-dory and clean, I'm supposed to believe, just went to him and told Facebook, don't put this shit up? Imagine if they do that, what else they've been doing to motherfuckers who
Whoever
don't have that
told you
power.
that,
This is Mark
whoever told
Zuckerberg.
you that, whoever told you that, tell them to stand in the grassy knolls. Tell them to jump in the car with JFK and to see how much they trust the FBI then.
The nigga just hopped off. That nigga. He said trust the FBI. Nigga, the FBI it was, you might as well say it, the FBI had whistleblower, right, on Hunter Biden. Had one whistleblower out the FBI say, the FBI told me to don't release the Hunter Biden shit, right? The FBI told us don't ignore it, right? That's the FBI whistleblowers, right? And on the other hand, you got Facebook fucking book saying the FBI told us don't release nothing to
And
Hunter Biden shit.
Instagram. And
So you got
Instagram.
and
Meta
Instagram.
owns Facebook and Instagram, yes.
You got the female. I forgot the female who just came on there a little while ago, right? Who was a whistleblower on Twitter, said the same thing about Hunter Biden. So you got 4 whistleblowers on the Hunter Biden shit about the FBI, and they supposed to be clean.
Because it goes back to this is a secret society. All we ask is trust. They cover up each other's stuff. That's why JFK got his head blown off, because 1, he was trying to create American money, and 2, he said that there's a secret society who conceals evidence, not reveals it. So he needs to check again. He wants to read one document. He needs to go study history before he finds himself behind bars, and he's going to be crying to whatever God is available.
They blew motherfucking JFK head off for talking about secret societies. You think they're not going to
And you think they're not going to do nothing to the normal person? This was a president on live television they made an example, right?
Think about this, right? Think about this, right? I remember when a couple of years ago when a lot of black people was talking about this Illuminati shit, the blood sacrifices, all in the rap game, people fucking, people killing their parents. Serena Williams killed her parents. Kanye West killed his mama. You know, such people got killed in the driveway. This person sacrificed Aaliyah and all this old shit, right? I remember it was big on that. People was having all kind of documentaries on gay rappers and this, and people getting fucked by the industry and stuff like that. As soon as Donald Trump got in office, all that shit stopped. No more conspiracy theories. No more Illuminati. No more. It's Donald Trump is the racist. We're gonna forget everything else, right? All this old conspiracy theory. And I'm not saying the Democrats is doing it, right? I'm just saying.
Oh, but they said it. Remember, they tried to get him to get rid of QAnon, condemn QAnon, because QAnon said that the Democrats they eat babies and all types of stuff. Remember that whole news report? And he said, I don't know what you're talking about. In fact, it used to be where if you type in Antifa, it would go to Joe Biden's website. If you type in Antifa in the search engine, Antifa.com, it would go to Joe Biden's website when he was running for president. What type of crap is that? And then they turn around and say Antifa doesn't exist, but you see them running around and starting riots and all stuff backed by George Soros. Like, this stuff is funny as heck to me that people can't connect all the dots. They know the Illuminati exists. The Illuminati is in our history the same time the 4th of July happened. But they're also, their seals on the dollar bill, their New World Order, and I shouldn't even say the word, the war that's going on right now, because they be censoring people whenever you say that shit. But you know what I'm talking about. It's all over the place.
I got a question, right? We're gonna go with history, right? With history, right? When, and I ask people this all the time, when have you can say the Democratic Party is so supposedly looking out for the people right now, is the party of the people right now, is the good party, right? Let's say that right now, right? So I want to know, when did they become that, and when in history have the Democrats ever been the party of righteousness? Ever? I'm talking about doing slavery.
They're not.
Jim Crow,
I mean, let's go back to Abraham Lincoln. We got to go back to Abraham Lincoln, right? And Abraham Lincoln supposedly is a vampire hunter. You can look it up. Yeah. Abraham Lincoln, right? Where is that whole Civil War about? The Louisiana Purchase and them being able to own slaves after they already determined that you can't own slaves in any more states? So this is where the party started to split, right? They didn't want Abraham Lincoln in office, and what happened to him? He got assassinated. Exactly. And he was also trying to bring in the American dollar, the greenback, away from the Federal Reserve. Like, the Federal Reserve is behind a lot of this stuff. So when we talk about Illuminati, the first place you got to look at is the Federal Reserve. The one who has the gold makes the rules. Rothschild said, "I care not who makes the laws. Give me control of a nation's money." That is his quote. Okay.
And I just done that the other day, and that is very true, right? And that's very true. They implemented that when they conned the motherfucking president and the fucking fucking House, the Congress, to go ahead and have them in the power and lie to the people about this shit. They sit up there and lied to the people.
Absolutely.
It was illegal how the financial government even came to existence. They lied to the people.
Right, and they took us off the gold standard, but they put us on the human standard. Everybody with a social security number and a birth certificate is traded on the stock market. So they took us off of gold and they put us on human souls, human slaves. And people need to understand that currency's not made out of thin air. It's made off of the backs of us, and this is why we need to fight for our freedom. Because in all honesty, we're all enslaved.
And if you want to be technical about it, why do you think your name on your birth certificate is in all caps and double frame? Because that is a business. You know what I'm saying?
Right, an entity. Right? Yeah, a corporation.
Right? You are sold. You know what I'm saying? Your birthrights are sold as soon as your ass is born and you sign over that paper. You are an entity. You are a business. They can draw money off of that business. They can do all kinds of stuff to that business. That's why they say.
And this is why they kicking in the doors, because they feel as though we don't have our rights from our creators anymore. They kicking in the doors. They're bringing in and it's soon the state police are going to be gone, and they're going to bring in the UN. They already got them in Mexico and Canada. That's why they want to open up these borders. People need to wake up before they find themselves in a position where they can't get out of.
When they say reimagine the police, right? What do you think they mean by reimagine the police, right? Why do you think at why you think so many police departments have a shortage in police officers? Even LA Police Department got a shortage in police officers. How the hell you get a shortage in police officers
And they're
and you
bringing
could
in
have
social workers
you have an over amount of people working for the IRS? And like you said, you
and
know what I'm saying?
social workers. They're
And
bringing in
social workers.
social workers. They want
We gonna
people.
reimagine the police. Think about it. Think about it. But anyway, Black Boy, I'm finna get it. It's been nice having the show. You're gonna have to come on again. We're gonna have to invite you and
Absolutely.
Sergeant Mo. We got to invite you on again.
Okay.
You know, instead of
Thank you.
and the Freeman, y'all got to come on again. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I got to do these kids. But I love
Okay.
talking. This is a very informational show. I done forgot all
All
about
right,
Martin
cool.
Taylor Green and all that
Right.
stuff. The stuff I was
All
finna
right.
do. This video
Okay.
was way better than that, right?
Right.
So we're gonna have to have another show like this with Sergeant Mo come on here and Black Barbary and my boy I call him the Golden Globe, you know what I'm saying? My boy Dave, he gonna have to come on here too. You know what I'm saying? We got to bring, especially Slaphead. Slaphead got to come up on this motherfucker. Slaphead got to come up on here too. You know, time always in the cut, but we're gonna have a show
This
where
is
everybody get on
everybody.
here and just come out and have some fun and talk it out and have fun and joke and laugh and get on these liberals.
Great.
So we're going to be inviting
All
Black
right,
Barbie
bye.
back. She's going to come on here
Bye.
very, very soon. I guess when we get everybody, you know what I'm saying, together, they're going to all come on here. We're going to have a very nice show. I'm going to get some material together. We're going to have a game show. And we're going to have all that. We're going to have some fun, y'all. Matter of fact, I'll probably go hit the street today and since my computer working and try to do a game show. You know what I'm saying? But thank you, Black Barbie. Thank everybody who came on and listened to the show. Oh, who was that? We got my boy D-Man 212. Keep preaching. We have 11 more weeks until the decision of the world midterm. Oh yeah, before we get up out of here, right? Like Demon 112 said, right? 212. I said Demon 212. Demon 212 said, right? It's 11 weeks before the election. 11 weeks, right? That will go by so fucking fast, right? In 11 weeks, we will know basically where the future and what direction our country is going. It's very important. Democrats pick it up a little steam because they lying to people and stuff like that. But it's very important that we counter that message, that we put a message out and the truth out, right? That will counter that message. We can't let the lies get out. We can't let the emotions get out, right? Because when the Democrats working with emotions and stuff like that, people will vote with their emotions, right? Let's have people vote with their wallet, vote with their mind, vote with their pockets, vote with their kid, vote with their country, not with their emotion. That's what we need. We need to wake up people and have people vote and see what's the importance of this. Damn who you like, right? Damn what party you're from. Look at what's right and look at the direction of the country. Look where we're going with kids, with church, with freedom of speech, with guns, with gangs, with drugs, with fucking immigration, everything. Just look at it, right? I mean, if you don't like the way the country is going, right, you have to change it. Let's say you change it and you change it to a Republican or conservative views and it's ran on that. If it don't work, you have the opportunity to change it back. But you can't say right now, this is the way you want the country to be. It can be, right? Because if it's like this, and you give the Democrats, it's okay to run the country like this, guess what? They're going to go further. They're only going to stop when you make them stop. But if you agree with it, and you side with it, right? And you okay it, they're gonna keep on doing it. And like a kid, when you allow a kid to do something and they don't get in trouble, you okay it basically. They're gonna keep on doing it. When a kid wants something bad enough and you don't give it to them, they're gonna start crying and acting up. Either you're gonna kick their ass or you're gonna give in and give it to them. Right? Now the Democrats are crying right now. Either we're going to kick their ass or we're going to bend and give it to them. Because they crying, I want this, I want that, I want free money, I want abortions, I want the immigrants to come over here, I don't want to work, I don't want this. They crying. Oh, I can't get this, I'm going to cry. They crying. Somebody got to kick them in their ass and say, no, you cannot have it. You can't. You got to work for it. Right? And the number one thing your parents used to say when your ass used to cry is say, I can't afford it. I don't have it right now. You don't need it. That's what we tell the Democrats. That's what we should be telling the Democrats right now. I got to kick your ass right now because we can't afford it. I have to buy these groceries right here so the family can eat. I don't have time to pick up your little Hot Wheel. I don't have time to put the money in the machine and spin the machine and have a toy to come out. I can't buy you the action figure right now. So you can cry all the fuck you want to. Right? But then sooner or later, when that baby get grown, they understand. Mama done that for a reason. Now I understand the world a little better. Now I understand why Mama was doing that and wasn't caring about my emotions. We got to do the same thing with the Democrats. We can't care about your emotions because we're not just fighting for our country. We're also fighting for your fucking kids. We don't want your daughter to come in second place to a man. We don't want your daughter in the bathroom and a big 6-foot man with a big ass slung just walk up in there saying he a woman in front of your daughter and disrespect your daughter and put her in a fucking state of shock that she ain't never saw before. Right? We don't want that for your kids. We don't want you coming over here and then you find out an immigrant done murdered your kid. Huh? Or we don't want to come to school and find out that your kid hasn't been educated with the right education, right? That make him successful in this world. We don't want to. We fight for that right. We don't want your kid to learn no CRT. We don't want your kid to learn these pronouns. We want your kids to learn English, math, history, science, things that's going to help him. Right? But what you're fighting for my kid to be able to tell me they can have a sex change when they want to. That's what you're telling me. You're telling me that you're fighting because you want to install in my kid that he's oppressed. You're fighting to have the white people tell their kids that they're better than my kids and they need to step down so my kid can step up. That's what you're fighting for. You're fighting me to tell me that if my girlfriend get pregnant and at 9 months she get mad, she can kill my baby. These are things you're telling me. You're telling me that you're fighting for me to have less police in my neighborhood. Because that's what they want to do, to fund the police. So you're fighting for that. You're fighting them to do this to me and my family. You're fighting for the motherfucker saying, look, by this year, all cars are going to be ran by electricity, and we don't give a fuck if you got the money or not. Guess what that's going to do to lower income families? So if you're a lower income, you got about 10 more motherfucking years to save up $60,000 to buy your car, or guess what? You're not going to be able to drive. Huh? You're fighting for the party that says, okay, we don't give a fuck about your baby. We knew the baby was coming, and we knew we were supposed to have some milk, but we ain't prepared for that. I'm not finna go with a party that has a fucking war on the women. I'm gonna go with a party that uplift women. Look at the parties on how the women in this party is dealt with, the Republican Party dealt with, and the women in the Democratic Party is dealt with. Right? The women on the Republican Party are strong women, outspoken women, right? Law-abiding citizens, believe in a Fifth Amendment, Second Amendment, First Amendment, right? Look at the women on the Democratic side, all of them complaining. All of them need to. One of them complaining about school debt. One of them complaining about the border. One of them complaining about the police. One of them complaining about kids. One of them complaining about gay marriage. One of them complaining about the earth. Right? One of them complaining about women's rights. One of them complaining about, come on, they all complaining about something. They all are fucking victims. Ain't no victims on no Republican side. Ain't no women that's no fucking victims. None. But it shit don't make sense. And like somebody has to wake these people up, because if they don't, I mean, I know it's more of them than it is us. Because in society, you're going to go with the party that you think or fighting for your rights. But when in history have the Democrats fought for any fucking rights besides enslaving people, entrapping people, taking shit from people? When have the Democratic Party have not been about enslavement? Right? They going from not locking niggas in chains with slaves to gonna run niggas with digital dollars and turn them into slaves. Either way, you're gonna become a fucking slave. The Democrats have been practicing slavery and all this old shit, demolishing of the black community for years. Black Wall Street Democrats, Chicago Democrats. Anything you know, anything you want to know. And since the history of fucking time, everything positive in America, the Democrat Party has fucking destroyed. Name one thing the Republican Party has destroyed. Huh? Name one thing that the civil, everything was all that shit was about the Democrats. Every fucking thing. Throughout the history. When have the Democrats ever been the history of a party of something positive, of something good? They always play the victim role, right? And then they expressed their racist ass laws. Even when they was doing the slavery, they played the victim. Well, in this book right here, God said that I can have these slaves. And God said I can do this to my slave, I can do this to my slave, and shit like this. So y'all talking to me about me violating human rights, but God said this. The Democrats even manipulated the Bible to make it seem like God was into slavery. Look how evil these motherfuckers is. Now they talking about God. At first, God made everything perfect. Now they're saying God make mistakes. Since when? God, I was born like this, but I wasn't really supposed to be like this. God made a mistake, and God wanted me to change. You're saying God make mistakes. I have never, ever in my life heard God make a motherfucking mistake with anything. Now all of a sudden, He's making mistakes. I don't see how's that possible. How is that possible? How God been perfect for all these motherfucking years, and in the last 10 years, He making mistakes on sex, He making mistakes on genders, huh? He making mistakes on spiritual guidance, because now the devil is being celebrated. You have people celebrating the devil like he's a good dude. He's a nice guy. And they're portraying God like He made mistakes. See how the roles are switched? The devil is cool. They got TV shows about the devil being cool. They ain't got TV shows about God being cool. Huh? Remember Highway to Heaven? They ain't got no more shows like that. Everything is turning against God. God make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you take sexuality and you take the things that are like said men can have babies, you're saying God lying. God did not make men so He can have babies. That was nowhere in the fucking Bible. He did not take the womb out of man and create a woman so a man can have a fucking baby. It didn't go down like that. Right? Some of these facts is you can debunk by this history. God made two people. It's in the Bible. It's in history. It's in the land. It's encoded on earth. He didn't make all this old shit. The Democrats are slowly going away from God. Like, the Democrats are saying that the Republicans are racist. When have the Democrats stopped being fucking racist? From the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, Bird, school busing, legislations, these motherfuckers always had Strong Thurman. These motherfuckers, Joe Biden, these motherfuckers always had racist motherfuckers inside their party. When have they not been racist? Y'all giving all this credit to the Democratic Party and black people following the Democratic Party like they done nothing wrong throughout the history of time. That's like a motherfucker slapping your face, you know what I'm saying? And you still kissing their ass. That's like a motherfucker robbing you or taking advantage of you and you okaying it. Well, I'm just gonna take this, I'm gonna do this to you. And you okay, I don't mind. Go ahead, take it. And you still support. I got tired of that shit. And it's not emotional for me, right? It's just the truth. I got tired of People telling me that the white man is out to get me. People telling me that I can't get ahead because the white man ain't gonna allow me. People telling me I can't get there because if I get something, the white man is gonna take it anyway. I got tired of people telling me that shit. I got tired of telling me, don't trust that white person because they're not out for your best. Don't trust that white. I got tired of that shit. And I changed, right? And since I seen a different light, and from white people supporting me, from white people me being friends with white people, me being associated with white people, right? And me like understanding white people a whole lot better, right? And I'm not as racist, or I'm not racist at all. I'm not as fucking biased as I was back then. Black people telling me I ain't fucking wrong for thinking this way. You're wrong for going over there and being friends with them. You're wrong for thinking they're not racist. You're wrong for thinking they're like you. You're wrong for all of this whole shit. Now I'm being outcast because they believe I'm wrong in what I believe in. That's fucked up. You lose friends like that. Like if I gotta lose a friend because I want to be conservative, right? And I want to be Republican. And if I got to lose a friend that I've been hanging with for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and I got to lose a friend over that, so be it. You was never my friend to begin with. If it's going to take me me choosing a political party, me being happy, and me choosing what I think is right, you don't want to be my friend no more? Because you say I'm falling to racist? That I'm falling to party that don't give a fuck about black people? When have the Democrats gave a fuck about black people? When they gave women welfare checks to kick the black man out the house? Huh? When they denied kids, or the black kids, the same education as white kids? Right? When white kids can walk up the street and be safe, when little black kids got to walk up the street and worry about being shot because they have no protection, and now the police is leaving in droves because the Democrats won't fund them? Or taking away their rights to patrol and secure their neighborhood, but you want me to believe in this party? How? When they're killing my race purposely, when they know that 1/3 of the people that's getting abortion is black women, and they pushing it. They pushing it harder. Them motherfuckers mad because look, the rich, they're not worried about no abortions. They're not worried about that. You ain't got all kinds of things to stop that. It's only the broke. It's only the people that. It's only the people that. It's only the people that they don't give a fuck about. Do you think they give a fuck about populating the world with more black people? Huh? Do you think they want more black people on Earth? When a person who created Planned Parenthood say, I don't want none of these crippled, diseased, rejected people on Earth. These people are outcasts. We don't want them on Earth. This was the very reason for Planned Parenthood. The very reason. Would you think the ideology stopped? They don't want more black people on this fucking Earth than it already is. If motherfuckers can kill people, if black people can kill each other at a more faster rate, and they can get more abortions, guess what? They'll vote that shit in a minute. You don't think they know black people is killing each other on the streets of LA, Chicago, and New York and shit every day? What they do about it? They defund the police, take out the homicide division, so you niggas can kill each other more. I'm glad I'm like this, because guess what? I'm a conservative. I'm no longer a victim. I'm no longer ignorant. I have an open mind. I don't work with emotions no more. I don't repeat the facts that everybody else say. I have my own mind. I have my own knowledge. I have my own experience. I have my own everything. And that way I can speak freely about shit. And don't have to worry about saying, you know what? Right? You got a thinking error, right? The thing about conservatives, right? If I said about conservatives, like when Freeman came on, the reason I had Freeman argue with Glib talking, because I know Freeman was going to say basically the exact same thing I was going to say, because it's the truth. We wasn't working with emotions. We're going to speak with truth. And I don't need to say nothing. I don't need to talk to this person. I don't need to collaborate with Sergeant Mo. I don't need to collaborate with Black Barbie. I don't need to collaborate with Freeman, right? We all, and this whole thing, us four is all black. You know what I'm saying? The people I just named is all black, and we conservative to the heart, right? And we don't have no fucked up ideas. We have facts. Right? And we don't feel, and us folk, we don't feel like we've been used by these white people. If anything, they can say we using the white people. I've been accused of that. Oh, you just using the white people for the money. Oh, you just using the white people because they donate. You don't think the white people that watch my channel is smart enough to know if a nigga using them or not? Every white person on here is smart enough to know if I'm using them or not. But they know I'm 100. That's why, right? That's why when people say, well, it doesn't affect me because I know what the fuck I'm doing, right? I don't have to use nobody. I can be honest. This is a good thing about conservativeness. I can be honest. I can kick facts and still get paid. If I was a fucking liberal, I would have to lie, find the lies, manipulate, bend the truth, deny the truth. I don't have to do that as a conservative. Look, matter of fact, the more facts and the more honest I am, the more popular I get. You think I'm finna stop what I'm doing and start spreading lies, you know what I'm saying, just to prove a point? Hell no. I don't keep spitting these facts because that's what people watch me for. They don't watch me for the fucking lies because I don't know how to tell them. They watch me for the truth. White people and black people too. I don't understand how all these so-called black people think people like me, Sergeant Mo, Freeman, Slaphead, and all this old shit, because we black, we ignorant. Because we black, we don't know shit. Huh? Where y'all get that shit from? We all get that shit from. We are in a party which black people basically helped start. Black people helped start the Republican Party. Google your fucking history. We helped start this motherfucking party. You think I'm finna leave for something I helped create or my people helped create? My grandfather was a motherfucking Republican. His father was a Republican. My mother was a Democrat and all this shit up on that because that's what we got fooled. But my ancestors, my grandfather, his father, Republicans. Oh, I don't know what the hell this is. They said I got a problem. This thing about to cut off again. It's probably about to cut off. Look at this thing. Look, I'm having issues. Whenever I get to talking shit, oh, they cut it off now. Whenever I get to talking shit, things come up popping up. Yo, computer is fucking up. They done that yesterday when I was talking fact. Yo, computer is fucking up. Oh, dude, this fat is about to die. While I'm kicking facts about the fucking Republicans and the Democrats, and YouTube censors are picking this shit up. They don't want to hear this shit because the facts. Fact, truth over facts, son of a bitch. Right? Matter of fact, I'm so pumped up. I might go on the street today and give out some free shit. You know what I'm saying? So I can, I ought to make some shirts, go out there and give out some free shit so I can tell people, I want to show YouTube that all the shit that these Democrats talk about, the people on the street don't know nothing about this shit. And they're going to be extremely mad when they find out this nigga, Gavin Newsom created this new car power electric EV shit by 2030, right? And this nigga not even gonna be in the motherfucking office. He done created some shit and he gonna leave and he gonna let the next motherfucker deal with it. Huh? This shit is crazy. But let me get up off here. I done got too wild. Let me get up out there because I gotta go do some shows, right? I gotta even do a show here or I gotta go out in the streets and do a show. So let me get up out here. It was fun talking to y'all. We will be doing this shit over again. I like the guests, I like the conversation, and I like the debate. We about this bitch. See y'all in the next one. Thanks for the donation.